Now fucking come over here where it's safe. That's it, mate. Come on.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Clarence, mate, you alright?
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Fuck, get out of there.
Fucking hell. Poor cunt.
Oh yeah, Clarence, mate, yeah, should be alright now.
Yeah, mate.
Jesus. Just hold on. Oh, no. Fucking early. Fucking that scene of War of the Worlds? Have you seen War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
The lightning's just fucking constantly coming down and fucking hitting. The fucking tripods come out and they fucking start killing everyone.
You're missing a once-in-a-lifetime sighting here. Major live in concert.
Eh?
You're missing the whole thing, cunt.
You seen the original War of the Worlds?
Yeah, Steve.
Clarence, I'm fucking sorry, mate. What we can do? Holy shit! Oh god! Just hang in there, mate.
It looks like he's still breathing. He's still breathing.
Children didn't get expensive, they got unnecessary, and that should terrify you. Here's a comparison that sounds insulting until you sit with it. Children are like horses. In the early 1900s, major cities were drowning in horses. They powered transportation, hauled goods, made economies move. People didn't keep horses because they loved horses. They kept them because they needed them. Then Henry Ford dropped the Model T. Within a few years, the need collapsed, not because horses got more expensive, but because cars did the job better. Today, the only people who keep horses are the ones who genuinely love them, despite the cost, the mess, and the work. An economist named Catherine Pakaluk argues children are going through the same transition, and the data backs her up. For most of human history, children met three needs nobody had to consciously think about. They worked in the fields, in the family business, and in the household economy. They provided security. If something happened to you, older children kept things running, and they were your retirement plan. Not metaphorically, literally. Then machines replaced the labor, insurance and dual income replaced the security, and Social Security replaced the retirement math. The need didn't fade slowly. It got systematically outsourced, program by program, technology by technology, until one day, children were just optional. But here's the part that should actually unsettle you. Your grandparents didn't decide to have kids. That's just what you did. The default. You're the first generation that has to actively choose it, against a culture that models the good life as optimized, unencumbered, and free. Behavioral science is unambiguous about what happens when something shifts from default to deliberate opt-in. Participation collapses. No subsidy fixes a default shift. Japan tried bonuses, incentives, paid parental leave for years. Birth rates kept falling. Because you can subsidize diapers, you can't subsidize desire. The fertility crisis isn't just an economic problem. It's a meaning problem. Ask almost any parent who genuinely loves their kids whether they'd wish they'd had fewer. Almost none of them say yes.
I just really didn't even know I could love like that. It's really my priorities shifted completely to them. They turned my world upside down, or in the best way.
So why does the story we're telling make it feel like the obvious answer is no?
a tattoo on my forehead that only women can see, and it says,
"Please cheat on me."
My first marriage was a mistake, but I was deeply and crazy in love with my second wife. She married the guy
she was cheating with.
My second wife actually told me once that one of the reasons she wanted a divorce was that
I play Angry Birds
every morning. The fuck do you care if I play Angry Birds every morning? Anyway,
we're not married anymore.
I've been down that aisle twice myself. Probably should have
Run screaming from the room, but
don't let my experience change your mind. I wish I was 28 again. Oh my god, the conversation I would have with myself. Like,
don't ever get married.
Or, don't marry that one or that one. I should have gone with the one that got away.
But anyway,
I remember when I turned 30. My wife was particularly mean to me that day.
she's no longer my wife.
She waited until 9 o'clock that night. We were putting the baby to bed, and she said,
"Oh, by the way, happy birthday."
I'm like, yeah, thanks. Up until about 10 weeks ago, nobody had ever heard of me. And then, I don't know, TikTok made me momentarily famous. Somebody from Tom Ford noticed that these are Tom Ford glasses. Next thing I know, would I come up to New York and do a photo shoot for GQ? It's like the world has gone insane. My sister says, oh, just embrace it. It's going to go away in a couple of weeks and nobody's going to remember who the heck you are. So I said, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do.
And my ex-wife must be just hating it.
His wife once told me that one of the reasons why she wanted a divorce was because as soon as my alarm goes off in the morning, I roll over, I put on my glasses, and I start playing Angry Birds. And I play Angry Birds for a full hour before I get out of bed and have a cup of coffee. But, in my defense, two things. Number one, I'm globally ranked on Angry Birds. And number two, I actually get up an hour early so I can play Angry Birds so that nobody's missing out on anything. There's no work that's not getting done. It's me time.
You really have to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight?
You don't.
That's right.
I gotta eat 2.
If you can't convince your wife to get breast implants, then you can't close. You can't close if you can't convince your wife to get breast implants, because all women want them. It all sets their ass. You got to be able to convince your wife to get breast implants. And if you can't, then you can't close.
Le voy a dar un consejo, mi chingón, para que se ponga verga en la vida. Más vale ser esclavo de tu propio sueño que ser esclavo del sueño de otro cabrón. Póngase verga si un día quiere ser chingón en la vida, mi cabrón.
Pure. I think your fans are gonna love this.
No, they are. They are, because they don't get to see me like this all the time.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled ain't fat no more. You know what I'm saying? I told you in the studio, this the no filter Cal. They think this shit is normal. It's not. It takes a lot of hard work. So I decided, you know what I mean? Okay.
No, he ain't hitting the grocery store.
They don't believe in us, huh? God did.
We're going to take all the breeding age females and bring them to Las Vegas, and I'll distribute them to the men who have changed their names to Corey. No kings, no presidents, no senators, just Corey. I don't need to sleep. I don't use currency. I'm not a part of this time. I used to be 2 Corys, now I'm 1. Oh. What are you guys into? What do you do?
We're tech.
Yeah. That's all going away. Currency, everything. We're going to flip into a new society.
What do you do?
I'm outside of space and time. Change your name to Corey. After that, you will be executed. If you don't change your name to Corey in 3 months, you're going to be executed.
The more retarded you are, the more money you're going to make. This, for example, gold, silver, NASDAQ, S&P 500, crypto, it's all disgusting. It's all painted red. What would the retard do? The retard looks at this and goes, throw it all in. All the chips, throw the house at it. This is the perfect opportunity. The investors sitting there, they're like, no, maybe we should keep our hands off. The market kind of looks a little shaky. Fuck you, dude. Checkmate. End of 2026. Who made more money? The retard or the investor that played it safe? The retard wins every time. Every single fucking time.
Welcome to the male delusion triangle. You have money, you are strong, or you are emotionally stable. You can only pick two. If you have money and you're strong, you drift on an hourly basis between suicidal and homicidal. If you are strong and you're emotionally stable, you are a brokey. If you are emotionally stable and you have money, you are a weak bitch. You can only pick two. Where am I, you ask? I am not here. I am in the circle that has nothing. I am a weak bitch. I am a brokey, and I am not emotionally stable. I live right here.
Nobody knows about that fucking degenerate life when you're fucking down 40,000 and you battle the fuck back. You say, you know what? You know what? I'm a fucking strong, independent man. And you're not gonna tell me I should go to bed. I'm gonna battle the fuck back. And I'm gonna fucking get my money back. And guess what? I got my motherfucking money back. That's right!
Asset. Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business that's in your family for 37 years and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth.
What is going on, you guys? It is I, Chad Thundercock here, live in Las Vegas. What you guys doing? Jose says, Miguel, is crypto dead? No, but it's not sexy right now. It's an adjustable 3 right now. The lower the price goes, the less people care. And it's the time where you should be buying. But, it's funny, though, when Bitcoin's pumping like $1,000 every other day and we're in the 80K range, everyone's very excited. Now it's down a couple grand. Now no one cares. Everyone's just crying, bros. I mean, it's what it is.
No cobro. Yo no cobro. Y dice así. Cuan, 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 cuan. Ya está cerrada con 3 candados y remachada la puerta negra. Queen, queen, queen.
Bent over rows in clutch. Wait. Bent over rows in clutch. Yeah, dude, they're crazy. I've been doing a lot of barbell work, dude. My arms are like fucking grizzled, dude. I've been getting veins everywhere, man. Pause nudity, of course. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, man, and join the Citadel if you haven't already, man. I'm doing a call let me see, what's today? I think I'm doing a call on Wednesday, actually, on the 20th. So, yeah, I'm doing a late night call after Charlie does his stream on Wednesday for the guys on the Citadel. So be sure to check that out. W in the chat for the Citadel, W in the chat for the CMC, man. We're about, right now, me and Charlie are like planning when to do the actual webinar of how to use the charting service that's a part of joining the Citadel or any of the CMC courses, basically, from this point onwards. It is in Gen Alpha, but we're going to have like a tutorial of how to use it. Hey, this is how you use it. Don't tease about what. Dude, my hair is like so fucking curly right now, bro. It's been a fucking disaster, man. I need to go get a haircut. But W, Dosteezy, yes. The one annoying thing about being on like minoxidil and shit, like your hair grows so fucking fast. It's like annoying. Very annoying. But it's cool, I guess. Oh, the Citadel call. Yeah, it's going to be on the 20th. There you go. I'm definitely going to do that and stuff like that. And I'll be doing some streams from the studio very soon. Yeah, basically. But today's stream is basically something that I promised you guys I was going to do a stream on CoffeeZilla versus Jeff Walton. The breakdown, I had listened to this once before, and I literally was driving somewhere and I listened to the whole thing. And I literally, like, the entire time I was listening to it, I was like rebutting both sides. So I do like both guys. I you know, me and Charlie do kind of believe that like CoffeeZilla, it's like someone's paying him to like have like a crypto slant. But from the outside, I mean, crypto does look shitty as fuck. But if you look from a lot of the outside as well, like there's so much like bad players in crypto and even in equities. I mean, anything that has to do with the internet and internet marketing or influencers, they're up to fuck shit. So like, can I completely blame them? No. But on Jeff totally mogged him on a lot of points. But at the same time too, like there's really good points on both sides. And Jeff also is like I think the models that both like Jeff has for his version of Stretch and the Stretch preferred stock itself are correct right now based off of the current debt load they have. But eventually, if the debt load, which it will, right? People are greedy. Greed is good. But man, if they're offering you hella money, what's going to end up happening is you're going to create more of that. So let's see if they're disciplined enough not to just borrow at the top. But you think they won't borrow at the top? Of course they will. Of course, will they issue more shares? Yes. And the problem is too is that, you know, it's all about paying that dividend back, but the BTC they buy will be vastly underwater because when does anyone want to lend you money? When are the views at all-time highs? 2028, 2029, right? Late 2020, 2021, 2024, 2025, late 2016, 2017. These are when crypto's hot and people are starting to pay attention. You know, you got the high tier normies paying attention in maybe the Chads in 16 and like normies in 17, basically. But that's usually the cycle. That's usually how people get introduced to crypto is when everyone and their mom is talking about it. And it's in 17, it's in 21, it's in 25, and it will be in 29. That's just looking like a broccoli head. Well, I got curls, bros. I got the curls for days. Pepe and Doge moon math. I actually gave the moon math on Pepe to the people in the Crash Out course yesterday. As well as, I don't think I did Dogecoin, but I mean, we'll see how I feel. I'll give it to the Citadel, man. Motherfuckers can't handle the moon math, bro. Y'all fiend for it, bro, like crack. And then like, all right, if all things go good, it could hit this. All things don't go good. Miguel, why no hit this?
I live in a town where there's like no emo girls and no scene girls, and it sucks. There's all these basic bitches who listen to Taylor Swift. Ew, Taylor Swift's disgusting. I'm just really pissed.
You know, if you want a small allocation into GameFi, yeah, I mean, go for it. I'm making a couple bets. I put a little into Gala, Alluvium, and Root. And they're like, bat, full port, bat. It's like this. It's like they literally heard me say, instead of risk management and like, oh, you can make small allocation into GameFi and stuff. It could be a part of your portfolio, but I mostly would stick to the L1s and the larger cap tokens, right? And all they heard was, brah, full port, brah, all in on Alluvium, brah, Gala to $1, borrow from grandma, sell kidney, brah, all in, pussies, brah.
More specific.
is such a drag.
I hate my boss.
I worked quintuple overtime with no pay.
Man, y'all still working?
Yeah. Oh, in this economy, camera? Are you kidding with inflation? We get it. Let daddy talk.
Like, y'all still gotta clock in?
Oh, yeah, I'm just counting down the days till we start our OnlyFans.
Yeah. Hey, you're doing it with me. No, we already have a contract.
Man, I've been telling y'all to tap into this crypto, man.
The good old digital currency. Would you let him explain?
Man, I'm talking about I'm making millions.
You can provide me the lifestyle I deserve.
I've been doing crypto since 2019.
2019? What the f*** have I done with my life the past 5 years?
I told y'all should have tapped in back then.
Could have been long-term investors, but we're just low-life imbeciles.
We're letting ourselves down, guys.
I'm saying, like, how would you feel? You never got to work another day in your life.
I didn't know you were a motivational speaker, Paul.
You spend your time however you want to.
Well, obviously, a majority of our time would go to you.
Yeah, pretty much all of it.
And more money than you ever dreamed of.
Hey, Daddy-O, you know you gotta sell a course, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Professor Papa.
It ain't too late.
Hey, guys, let's put up our whole life savings into this.
Yes! Great idea.
Oh, fuck, dude. That shit never gets old, bro. Professor Papa. But yes. Well, I guess let's look at the market real quick and stuff, and then we'll get into the reaction vid and stuff like that. But what's today? Oh no. BTC was 77,000 and now it's 76. 6-7. But Ethereum's still above $2,000. Tether's still at $1. And somehow XRP is number 5 in market cap. My God. So, I mean, Solana's actually gone down to... I mean, let's look at the last 7 days, man. What's gone... Hyperliquid's up a little bit. It's just ranging in the same fucking range it's been in, 30 to 40 bucks the whole fucking time. God is good. ICP down. That's nice. Jupiter down. That's beautiful. Morpho down. Pump down. Beautiful. Well, it did have a pretty good run in the last few days, or in the last week or two, but now it's giving some of those returns back. I like Tau being down. This is fucking... This makes me erect, very erect. This is very good. Arbitrum, ZK, Pepe down 15%. Let's see what we... Yeah, that's about right. Avalanche. Solana just edging down a little bit. What's not even lost much. Doge is not that down that much. And there's BTC. So like BTC's down like basically 5%, 6%. So not too shabby. Where's Zcash at, actually? Yeah, Zcash still held up, man. Are the numbers 6, 7 in some way special besides the kid meme? I mean, I guess. I mean, there's a bit of resistance there at 67K, but just a meme. That's all it is, for the most part. I will be doing the moon math, and people, you can ask me those questions in the Citadel and stuff like that. But I mean, it's kind of crazy not to have a Zcash coin at this point in time and stuff like that. Now, can it go down? Obviously, if we keep breaking down, even Zcash will get took down in price. If we look over the last 3 months, it peaked out here about, like, what was it, 640? Yeah, so 500 is really like that price point right there, but we're still climbing up a little bit right now, but it's starting to look like it's losing steam and stuff, because if BTC drops another grand, this will start going down towards like 540, 530, and then eventually try to bounce off of $500 basically. Yeah. them Jew curls. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, crypto was just easier when we didn't have government and stuff. But, you know, people, the Bitcoiners want the banks. They want extra liquidity and stuff. So, like, I mean, shit was easier when they just weren't paying attention to us. Chasing green candles at the moment. Yeah. Well, people love green candles, bro. It's ridiculous. Because I mean, they invest like females and shit, but I mean, it is. I mean, everyone gets a little FOMO, of course, but like the amount of people that were trying to buy Solana at $90, there's far less people buying it now. There's actually quite a lot of talk of people selling Solana for Hyperliquid, which I believe having Hyperliquid in the bag is useful, obviously. Yeah, we were almost damn near 100, almost $97. Next time it turns down, let's see, 87. Yeah, you could buy a little bit here and then try to buy in the 70s basically, but it's going to be really hard to get this below the mid 70s or lower basically, unless we have to have a pretty big drop in BTC for that to happen. I missed $250 Sol. It's gonna come back. It's not that hard. I mean, once it's gonna do the classic. It'll probably go up to 100. Like this test that we had up to like 97 is just exactly what it always is. It's going to touch it, go down a little bit. You know, somewhere between a $10 to $20 drop, go back up, retest again, eventually break up to 100 finally. And then it just does these nice $100 ranges and shit usually before breaking down. Exactly. Yeah, they'll come back, dudes. They'll come back, man. End of the year, fucking, or like I don't know, quarter one, probably the end of quarter one in 27. Like shit's back. We're rocking and rolling again, dudes. We're already we're almost halfway through this hoe, bro. We're in May already, man. Understanding the bear market with the Citadel and the CMC makes a world of difference. I can't wait to be in the thick of it during the bull run. It's gonna be a nice bull run, bros. I mean, there's always opportunity to make money. If you're locked in, concentrated, there's certain plays or certain coins that got the hype. I mean, you need a little AI, you need some privacy, some main L1s, and you're cooking with fire. And then if you want to throw a couple memes in there or a couple riskier plays, like that's where you can. As long as at the bare minimum, at least have 40% of your money in Bitcoin and ETH. And then you can really play around with the rest of the portfolio. Absolutely you can. You know. But some people ain't closers, you know?
If you can't convince your wife to get breast implants, then you can't close. You can't close if you can't convince your wife to get breast implants, because all women want them. It all sets their ass. You got to be able to convince your wife to get breast implants. And if you can't, then you can't close.
Le voy a dar un consejo, mi chingón, para que se ponga verga en la vida. Más vale ser esclavo de tu propio sueño que ser esclavo del sueño de otro cabrón. Póngase verga si un día quiere ser chingón en la vida, mi cabrón.
You really have to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight?
You don't.
That's right.
I gotta eat 2.
But yes. Let's look what Arrow's doing, man. 40 cents, not bad. People are losing their mind. 53 cents. Miguel, do I buy? Miguel? It's at 53 cents. It's going to break up to 75 cents. Miguel, please tell me.
Grand Regent, this planet is fucking sick, Grand Regent. Grand Regent, come in, please stay. Please. They have motorcycles here, Grand Regent. Motorcycles. Have you ever tried a cigarette, Grand Regent? Oh my God, Grand Regent, they're so good. I'm up to 3 packs a day. Grand Regent, they have goth daddies and Latinas here, Grand Regent. Please, can we stay? Please, Grand Regent. Grand Regent.
Grand Regent Miguel, please. Can I buy? Right. People get so fucking excited. But obviously it's trying to defend 40 cents, right? So you can make a little buy here. You're buying kind of intermediate and stuff. Obviously don't fucking just blow the whole load. But, we tail down just a little bit more. Buying anywhere in the 30s is a fucking W. But, Like, should I buy Arrow at $1? I mean, over $1? Probably not. I mean, you guys, everyone here should have already, have the time to accumulate their bag. But, you know, if let's just say shit goes bananas, maybe in 27 or something, and we like pump to the 3 and now we crash down to 1, that's a different story. Right? But like for the motherfuckers that are here right now that can buy this at fucking 40 cents, 2 for $1. This thing goes to 30 cents. You can buy 3 for $1. And you're talking to me about $1? You're talking to me about $1. That, you know. Damn, dog. You know.
Blessed is a man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand.
I need to pray for you motherfuckers, bro. I really need to pray for motherfuckers. I don't know, man. Y'all need Jesus.
After Jesus started live streaming and the chat filled up, he began to go off saying, W to those who aren't thirsty for this midlife, for they will have eternal life. W to those who take L's from this life, for they will receive an everlasting W. W to those who don't throw hands, for they will secure the eternal bag. W to those who want help passing God's vibe check, for he will say bet. W to those who don't cancel others, for they will not be canceled by the top G. W to those whose spiritual fit is immaculate, for their hearts will be cuffed by God. W to those who turn ops into bros, for they will be called CEOs of peace. W to those who catch hands for being valid, for they will not be left unread by God. W to you when the ops be capping hard, and to you so very dirty because you're my fam. Trust, you have crushed it, and have the eternal W, for so they did the true bros before you.
I mean, the only thing I've taken some more profits on, I took a little more profits on Pepe. It's actually held up pretty decently as a coin. I've taken a little bit off the table there, just to give me some more capital to buy lower on Pepe and to buy lower on some other coins. I might use some of my Pepe profits to buy a little more Arrow, and I'll probably use Pepe to buy probably a little bit more of like some Tau and some Zcash probably. But I already have some capital already kind of put aside for like Zcash purchases, basically. Yeah. I mean, you could start the DCAs on a lot of these coins already, but, you know, you don't have to blow the whole wad right now. But just starting and flexing those muscles to start buying is, I think, a good idea. But, you know, to your discretion of how much you want to purchase, basically. But, yeah, that's the way I look at it right now. Meal's 24 at heart. The man is tapped in. I'd say I'm probably more like I'm probably like 26, 28, somewhere in my heart. Though I act 15. Absolutely, man. You know, that's just, I mean, it just kind of is what it is, you know? Hilarious. I don't know why people spend their whole life just pissed off at shit, man. Obviously, people are annoying. Like, I saw the stupidest thing today coming back from the gym. I thought about, like, doing the stream earlier or going to the gym, and I said, fuck it, I'm hitting the gym, and then I'm doing the stream. I'm choosing the gym right now in a bear market, and then I'll stream. I'm going to give the streams out, and I'm going to give the sauce out. But, man, I'm focusing on, you know, on Papa right now, man. I'm leaning out right now. I'm working out. I'm getting strong. Bro, I've been recently, because I had a little bit of recomp and stuff. I've been, not recomp, but just more of like, I've been like on a maintenance phase a little bit before I start more of the aggressive cut again. I was on. Fuck, my strength has ballooned up again. Holy shit, man. I just get some carbs and some calories, and I just fucking, like, I get so strong again. It's crazy. Fucking feels good, man. When you're all fucking, like, when you're all, like, just all hungry and shit and fucking have to do cardio all the time, and you're just like, fuck, man. It's lame. Like, do your cardio at the end of the workout, man, so I can give you some advice. I always see, like, so much people, like, other than, like, I gotta understand. I almost never understand guys who, like let me run on the treadmill for like 5-10 minutes just to warm up. I mean, I can get, it's not going to do anything terrible, but like, I like almost every gym I've been to has a sauna. I just jump in for, if you want to warm up, I just jump in the sauna for like 5 minutes. You feel like get the joints warmed up. And then I go, I don't know about like, I don't know. Because like every time I see a guy like, oh, let me warm up on the treadmill for like a few minutes and shit, it always ends up turning into like 15-20 minutes. So they're fucking doing they're doing like a little they're splitting their cardio session, and which is like, I guess if you want to do that. But you know, I think that's a tad too much. But I digress. Now let's get into the stream. So these are the two. Let me know if you can hear the audio, but like this is Jeff Walton. This is him right here, Punter Jeff. Apparently, he basically has a company that he's a chief risk officer at Strive, and he has a basically a preferred stock, which is a derivative of a derivative that pays a dividend like Stretch. They actively buy Stretch and then also pay a higher dividend than Stretch because they have Stretch in their portfolio. So they're counting on the 11.5% dividend, and then they pay also extra money. And then in order for them to pay like a 13% dividend inception. Yeah. Retta is bad for gains. Well, if you don't work out, I mean, the guys I know that are on Retta, they're all on TRT. And like, there's like almost no downside really, except for like, depending on the batch you can get in like really bad nausea, but that's like sort of what you're paying for in a way. Like, it's to stop you from fucking eating. You burn more calories on Retta than compared to like a GLP-1, which is just all stomach. But like Tricepatide with like a GLP-2 is probably a lot more better at like really suppressing appetite, especially if you're like a fucking guy that just loves like eating at night and shit and everything. That shit will really nuke you, where a GLP-3 is more like you burn more calories in the actual GLP-1 part that hits your stomach's a little bit weaker because it's sort of it's a tri blend instead of just like more of a Tricepatide, more like hardcore of those two basically. But it's up to you. I don't know. You know what I've typically found with a lot of these, like what I've noticed, I don't know if, I mean, not to be racist, but the people who have more like negative effects with a lot of these drugs typically tend to be like more like, at least in my anecdotal evidence, the more like native they are, like in terms of like Native African or Native American, like Native Mexican, end up having like worser effects down the line from these drugs, where like a lot of Caucasians or people mixed in with a lot more like European and just end up having less side effects from what I've noticed. Also, same thing with even like the Android 19 and all that stuff. They were affected much more at higher rates that I noticed. But this is anecdotal, of course, what I've seen in my life. Because all the people who like, I mean, obviously I told people who are in my local area, like, don't take the fucking COVID shot or whatever, but people still took it. Almost all the guys, it's literally crazy. Almost all the brown fucking Latino guys that I know that are like brown skinned and shit, they all ended up having like massive fucking problems that I saw. Even like, it, you know, I don't know what the fuck's up with that. I mean, but like, that's insane, you know? I've seen a lot of people have bad side effects from Retta. Which side effects? Well, it's just more like I don't know, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this shit's like, I mean, obviously it's engineered and shit, but who the fuck knows? But that's just anecdotal evidence I've noticed basically. Who the fuck knows? Damn, bro, I lost 20 pounds from grieving. I'd imagine, man. That's fucking sad. I mean, yeah, dude. Keep working out, bro. Lift. I mean, there's almost no advice I could possibly give you that could take the grieving away. Just fucking focus on work and fucking lift heavy things so sad noise goes away. That's all I can fucking say. Razmir, the Rugger Vape Cavalga. Oh, Raz. How do you say his name? Is it Raz? It's Razmir, right? Is it Razmir? That's how I've been saying his name, but is that how you actually say the name? Or like it's like Razmir? Or is like Razmister or some shit. Yeah, it's Persian. I don't know that was a country. Isn't Persian just like I'm from Iran? Like I ran away from Retta. Is you real? Is you real right now? I ran the Retta and it is real, bro. Fucking hilarious, man. I mean, he doesn't really need it, but at the same time, too, man. Like, I think I saw him. Because I noticed him in like a thread guy. I've been like 2 guys that have been kind of blowing up on. At least they're like the Zoomer guy. The cycle was so shit that there was really only 2 guys that even blew up at all from like their generation in crypto. Thread guy, but he had been around since 21, just doing his threads and stuff. He's more of a slot, like not IRL streamer, but he's more like a kind of like what I'm doing here, content wise streaming. And Razmir was like for sure just a cycle, basically, at least from what I saw. But yeah, I mean, like there could be worse guys. I think they're doing it. I mean, they're young, they're doing their stuff, man. I mean, like, but like a lot, I think like thread guy is like crypto ages you really badly, man. And like it's tough, man. It's like I understand it, bro. Like it's at least they started younger, man. Yeah. Orange insect. I have no idea what the fuck. What is this? Orangey insectos are also on. Who are these people? I have no idea who these guys are. Thread guy's hairline is cooked. Well, he's young enough and he has money. Well, he can get it fixed. But the other shit I've been fucking up on is microneedling. I have not done it. I did it fucking like 3, like right before I did the crypto mindset course. That's the last time I need to do it. I have all the stuff. I just fucking forget to do it. I need to fucking do it. But it's crazy because like when you really microneedle really well, like your scalp gets like itchy for like a couple days, but man, like you notice the hair growth and shit is insane on it and stuff like that. But I really have grown my hair down. Like I've legitimately grown it even another, like I'd say like just like I don't know, like notice my fingers like this much more down. But it's pretty noticeable, man. My hair's gotten like fucking thick as my hair's thick as a motherfucker, man. Yeah, but like it's like you get so used to being like from the OG like lineup sites and stuff like that, because I'm still growing. I'm growing out my hairline down to here to grow. Like these corners are growing in as well, which is really nice. But I'm so used to like for the longest time I used to have an immaculate like lineup. But if you're like a lot of barbers are just trying to get your lineup really good, but what ends up happening is that they'll keep pushing your corners back. So eventually, like I think eventually, like I remember correctly, like my lineup was like. Can't even show you guys like because I grew it all the hair back, but like imagine like I don't know, like imagine like everything to pull hard. Like imagine my hairline was like right here and then they lined me up. I literally like this is how much hairline I've grown back, like that much. It's since fucking I used to have all this not here. Like I used to have not all that right. It's insane how like I saw a picture of myself. I was like, God damn, I put like and it was before I got my other barber. Like I was like, he was pushing my fucking lineup. Like it's because they're trying to get those crispy corners, and like literally, like they'll push your hairline like back up. Like you'll literally have you won't even notice one day, and you're like, what the fuck? You're like, you'll go on a hairline, and they'll chop your shit up, man. Yeah, dude. Also, like I've been getting, I guess, got back on growth hormone now. It's just fucking annoying to ping yourself every day, but it's really good for you too, especially like it's like an HRT dose and stuff like that. You do like 2.5 to 3 units. It takes you back to where you were like at 18 years old. That's it. Like a bodybuilding dose, motherfuckers are taking like 8 IUs, 10 IUs, 12 IUs. Like, I mean, you can maybe like push it to like 5 IUs, maybe without like too much bad effects. But like, 6 and above, you're basically you're on some shit. And like 10 and 12 a day is where like you're basically putting competitive bodybuilder fucking amounts and shit. It's fucking crazy. Because like when you biohack, yeah, for sure. But when you buy growth hormone, it comes in like packs of like. Wait, let me see if I can show you here. So it comes in like 10 vials with 10 units in each vial. So like a pack of growth hormone, like I don't know, imagine it's like a pack like this, right? Boogie wipes. It comes in a pack like this, right? You open it up, it'll have like vials 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if it's a little more fancier one, it'll actually come with the water for it. It's like $200 to $300 for a really good brand. And you can also get like shitter Chinese versions and shit, which you can if you really need to. But like, if you're doing like an HRT dose, like you're taking 2 to 3 units, so like a whole pack could last you like 2 months, depending on how much you're taking. And then, but some people like you almost don't even really need it in your middle of your 20s. Like you can justify it like maybe like 26 and up, but you're producing so much growth hormone still when you're in your early 20s that you don't really need growth hormone until like maybe like 26. It starts kind of going down, basically. Does it make your body move your age? No, I mean, not exactly. I would say what it does is it like you feel like lubrication in your joints. Like I've noticed, like I injected myself the other day, right? The last 2 days. My fucking, like, I had my knees don't hurt at all. My joints don't hurt at all. It just makes you like you're holding on to a little more water and stuff. It's a little different from like creatine. Your hair grows in thicker as well. Your skin's smoother. It's just like you get adverse effects from like pushing the fucking level to ridiculousness. You burn fat on it as well. Like it really targets a lot of like belly fat and stuff and like love handle fat as well. So you burn more fat. Also, like wherever you inject yourself, you build muscle a little faster if you inject it in the muscles versus like subcutaneously in the fat. Like if you inject yourself here in the stomach, it takes a longer time because it's in the fat. So you end up having like a slower spike. So it kind of like drains slower versus like if you pin yourself in the fucking in the shoulder or directly in the muscle or something, I don't know, not the glute, but probably in your legs or something. There's been studies to show that muscle will grow a little faster, and then the spike is much more violent as well, and then it drains off faster. So like maybe you inject yourself, it would take fucking 6 to 8 hours versus like you inject yourself in the muscle, it probably could like be in your system in 4 hours, basically. Yeah. Yeah, smoother movement overall, and also like health wise, you also sleep a little better. You also like feel better that if like for some reason your sleep's a little fucked, it can help you out as well. Your skin revives a little better. It's smoother, but it takes a while. Like basically when you really notice it takes about like 30 days. You have to be consistently taking it every day. You could fuck up and miss it one day, it's fine. But like if you consistently take it for a month plus, like you notice the effects, and then it's over like 6 months that it's like 4 months really, but like 6 months. If you take it consistently for 4 months, you grow bigger muscle wise. You're leaner. Your body fat. Let's just say you kept your weight the same. You would have more muscle in 6 months because you would look more muscly because you gain a little more muscle. You would lose more fat because it helps your body recomp, and then your skin's smoother, your hair's thicker, and yeah, I mean, you're just healing better basically from it. I ordered Retta and copper peptides. Yeah, the KCU copper peptide. The one weird side benefit to that one that's really good is that it actually heals up. It's actually extremely good at fixing tendons, believe it or not. Like besides it being just a really good peptide just for your skin to make your skin look better and get rid of wrinkles. And overall, like let's just say my skin was browner up here and like lighter up here. It would like blend your skin to make it more like, let's just say my skin's like 4 brown, 3 brown, or like 2 brown up here. It would like blend your face to look 3 brown. Basically, it would smooth out your complexion basically, and makes you look better because you don't look all like chameleon and shit. But yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's anti-aging for sure. I mean, you can look at like someone like Stallone. Now, Stallone, obviously, man, he fucking those fuckers pushed the GH high, right? But what ends up happening with the GH is that your feet, like believe it or not, like if you're pushing high levels of growth hormone for a long period of time, I mean, I guesstimate if you were like pushing like 8 units or 10 units. I mean, 10's pretty fucking high, but maybe 6 units for years. Your hands grow bigger, your legs grow bigger. I mean, your feet grow bigger, your nose and your ears could keep growing, and your dick could get bigger too, actually, believe it or not. So a bonus, a light in a dark tunnel. Any good peptides for sleeping? GH helps a lot, or melatonin. basically. I mean, there's just no, I mean, this just is what it is. I just don't like melatonin for kids. Like, you basically, like, a lot of shit is basically, a lot of this stuff is like a lot safer if you're in your middle 20s, basically. Because like when you're just younger, when you're in your teens or you're in your you're in your like late teens to like early 20s, it's like you're fucking invincible. Like, what the fuck does it matter? Like, you can, I mean, you get good sleep anyway. You can just knock out instantly. You don't have nightmares. You don't fucking, you just fucking, like, I'm fucking tired. You go to sleep and shit. It's really like where like shit could break down from bad decisions or just partying hard or just busting yourself at work. That like it's really like around maybe 24, 25, 26 is where the zone where like things can start breaking down. And then like that's where like growth hormone can keep you optimized at 18. But like so few people, it's more of something that people in their 30s start using, which even in 30s is early, because by the time most motherfuckers get on TRT and HRT and all this shit, they're in their 40s or fucking 50s, and they're just trying to like they bring themselves back down to their 30s in terms of like their body age. But if you do it in your 30s or in your late 20s, you're keeping yourself like way younger for way longer, basically. Prime time. Also, too, like, I mean, this is what I've noticed. Here's the thing is like, you forget, you know how like when everything's working correctly, you forget, right? Like, my back doesn't hurt. You don't remember your back hurts. You only remember your back hurts when your fucking back hurts. So like, I was sort of thinking when I was doing GH consistently, I don't remember my back hurting. Like, at all. Now that I think about it, that's the fucked up shit. It's like the highest level of wealth is your health, right? But the fucked up thing is you only care about it when it's not there. That's the fucking bullshit. You fucking, like, isn't that fucking crazy? You literally do not care about your health because you don't remember about it because it's working. So you're just like, whatever. But then when you're sick as fuck or your back fucking hurts or you can't fucking get out from bed or like your foot's all busted, you're like, fuck what I would give for my shit to work. I mean, like, we're just crazy as humans, man. You know.
Anytime you have a question about anything in your life, Trenbolone is the answer. You know, am I going to go on a cut? Trenbolone. Am I going to go on a blast? Trenbolone. Did I start a new job? Trenbolone. Am I getting married? Trenbolone. Am I getting divorced? Trenbolone. Is my wife going into labor? Trenbolone. Do I need to stay up all night and take care of my kid because my wife had a C-section? Trenbolone. My dog died. Trenbolone. What happened? I bought a new car. I'm nervous over the payment. Trenbolone. I'm thinking about buying a new car. I don't know which car to buy. I'm concerned that the salesman might try to hustle me. Trenbolone. Basically, any situation in life that you could possibly conceive of, Trenbolone is the answer. So what did I turn to in my deepest, darkest days? Trenbolone. That's what I did. I turned to Trenbolone. When I was not being able to get more than 7 hours of sleep, when I was showing up to work a half-dead zombie, when I was coming home at night feeling cracked out and miserable and tired and not wanting to interact with my children and not wanting to do anything with my wife and just wanting to go to bed immediately after dinner, what did I do to resurrect myself from the coffin, from the grave? How did I rise again? Trenbolone is the answer. Trenbolone will bring you back from anything.
In the Garden of Eden, Trenbolone was what God told Adam not to fucking partake of. He said, you can have anything else in this garden, anything. But if you eat that fruit over there, it's going to cause your fall. It's going to make you realize all the things about yourself that I don't want you to know. Coincidentally, Trenbolone was originally prescribed to women. See, that's a little parable, isn't it? So who was the person in the Garden of Eden who got the Trenbolone first? Eve. Just like they originally prescribed it to women, Eve got the Trenbolone in the Garden of Eden first, and she was like, boom, holy fuck, this shit is good. I feel like a savage. I don't need these skin coverings. I'm going to let this pussy out. In fact, I'm going to take this pussy to Adam and let him knock the dust off of it. So she goes to Adam and says, dude, you got to get this in you. Partake of this fruit. It is very good to eat. And he did, and then they fucked like jackrabbits. And God was very unhappy about it because Trenbolone makes you a god. That's what it does. It's the god hormone, which is why God didn't want us to have it.
Anyways, I digress. So, what do you microneedle with the serum? No, I just straight up microneedle, and then from there, I mean, I add like, as an example, like, wait. Let me just read these comments real quick. I have like a microneedle pen. I'm gonna have a webinar on this, like pretty much at the end of the Crash Out courses. Once we're done with the Crash Out course webinars, I'm gonna have like a whole like what I've been doing to myself, basically webinar talking about peptides, TRT, anything that I have found that has been useful in getting healthy again and getting stronger and stuff, and that I found has worked. I've experimented with all kinds of peptides as well. Like I've played around with a ton of them already, and I can tell you the ones that do work and the ones I think are a bunch of bullshit. Ones that I know work, but I'm not going to touch them because I think they're just risky as fuck, or like I don't think like melanotan too. Like what the fuck do I need to tan myself? Like I can really tan myself so naturally, but I don't know. As imagine like I use a whole bottle of melanotan too. Next year when I come back, I'm fucking like I'm Arabian. I'll literally turn brown chocolate. Oh fuck, that'd be funny, bro. I come on here just fucking like Nigerian black, bros. That'd be fucking funny, bro. Hilarious. But there is these applicators I've seen that people are selling where they're like they have a little bit of the copper peptide and stuff mixed in with I forget the other serum they have with it. It's a mixture, and they're like poking themselves in order to get through the skull, because some people's like skulls are really tight, the skin's really tight. So when you use liquid minoxidil, it doesn't break through. It doesn't like end up getting through your skull because your skin's too tight. And that's one of the reasons you lose a lot of hair as well, is like the blood flow is like really fucked to the top of your skull for some reason. So like a lot of the hair follicles are like nutrient starved, and then they end up weakening and falling out basically. So like that's where the microneedling really helps out, because it like damages the area, makes the holes so new hair follicles can grow through there. And then on top of that too, it improves blood flow basically. And then the medicine you do end up putting on your skull, like minoxidil, actually can filter through, but it's not recommended because like minoxidil can sometimes raise people's blood pressure and give you like a flushing feeling, like you feel like holy fuck, like heart palpitations a little bit on some people depending on how much you use. So like when you microneedle, because the area is exposed and you were putting minoxidil directly on it, it's way more effective. It absolutely would work, but you could cause yourself an adverse effect of you're like, holy shit, my heart, oh my god, my heart, and you're like, damn dude. Oh, and you got to be careful of yourself, man. Like, so like, you got to be careful. Right. So my coworkers on GLP-1. Yeah. But most people, what I've noticed, it's usually the guys on GLP-2 and Retta are the ones that are actually like look good while like leaning out and stuff. It's the guy like GLP-1's more normie. It's an Ozempic basic. I mean, that's just Ozempic. It's like normie shit. The GLP, like the Mohara, like the triceptide, like if you're lifting weights with it, you body recomp and you look really good, basically. Miguel, I need that secret peptide webinar. I don't know. I'm debating with Charlie because I'm gonna release everyone in the course, in the Crash Out course. I might include the Citadel. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about it and stuff like that. Man, I feel so bad for women with acne, man, because like Accutane works so good for dudes, but it is so fucking dangerous for women. Like beyond dangerous. Like fuck, it's dangerous, dudes. Because you have to trust a woman not to get pregnant ever and get raw dogged. And like, can you? No. Can you? No. Like, it's so like Accutane it works so good for fucking acne for dudes, but it is like beyond fucking dangerous for women. Like, if a woman were to get pregnant on Accutane, the amount of birth defects, I mean, you'd have to like abort the child. That's how bad it is so fucking terrible. That's why usually when women get given like Accutane, they have to go on birth control because it can't be trusted. They can't be trusted. You can't fuck, man. It's like, bro, like I read the entire like warnings. It's like the warnings for guys is like this. The warning for females is literally like doom, 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 doom. I was like, what in the I read the whole woman's side. I was like, what in the fuck is this shit? What the fuck? It's insane. Absolutely crazy. And then on top of that too, it's really harsh on the liver too, right? That you get, like, you drink too much, you could have some problems. Like, not everyone has Mexican liver, man. You know, you could have a real bitch-made liver and shit, and just like, fuck, you're out, dude. You know?
One drunk man is more intelligent than 3 women with PhDs.
Thank you so much.
That's
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's the thing.
How many of them really know about it or care? I think because like the doctors are, because like the liability, because I mean it's pretty serious, because the liability from doctors is really bad on it. Like they really don't want to give it out to people. It's fucking like they'll get, it's way easier to get as a guy. You just have to get your blood lipids taken. Like basically they don't want to give it to fat people. They don't want to give it to fat people either too, because it's like if your bad cholesterol is really high and your lipids are terrible, they're like, man, this shit could give you like a mini heart attack or a stroke and shit. So I don't want to give this to you and stuff. So you have to be like semi not fat, or like you're like one of these healthy fat guys where like you're overweight, but somehow your blood's like your fucking blood serums and everything is fucking good. Like these people exist. That's what you have to get. You have to get even as a guy, you have to get a blood test to even get it done. Basically, it's pretty crazy. I've looked into all the pharmacology, not medical advice, of course, but I mean, obviously, I would say medical advice. Yeah, please don't, as a woman, don't take it at all, and don't have unprotected sex, for the love of Christ. I mean, very bad, very, very, very bad, very bad. Miguel, I have crazy night cravings. From what? Bro, I really got to start calling my show And I Digress, because I love reading the comments on the live stream, and I just like completely veer off the course. I have high battle with hunger at night. Oh, okay. I mean, you're like me. You like, I don't get cravings in the day too much. It's nighttime for me too. Really? I mean, what's going to help you? I mean, either like there's the safe shit I can tell you to do, and then there's the other so protein shakes. Just fucking chug a fucking massive protein shake with water, not milk, unless you're trying to gain weight, right? Which I don't think you are. So like, take a fuck ton of protein, 2-3 scoops in that hoe, like a 32 ounce fucking shaker cup or something. I don't know if I have one around here, but like shaker cup, and just chug one down, and that'll help you out a lot, because it'll fill your stomach up. And then because it's protein, it's nutrient dense, and then it'll cut your cravings down a lot. I'm not telling you to take nicotine. Nicotine also helps to get away with cravings and stuff, but obviously, you know, you gotta figure out what you gotta do. Obviously, and like some people do nicotine patches, some do pouches. I mean, I would not recommend smoking cigarettes or anything like that, but like some people use nicotine to help them stay skinny. That was a big thing in Hollywood. People would smoke cigarettes all the time, so they would like get skinny, basically. Zins. I personally like this. I mean, well, I don't want to. A Velo, it's slower release versus like a Zin. Like it hits you quick. You can get a really bad head high, but some people really like that shit. But like, there's different brands. That the difference is, besides the flavors, is just the release of it. Where like Zin, to me, like it's like. It's fast. It's like they're just trying to get you to cycle through as many pouches as possible. Where other people it takes a little longer for it to hit in terms of like you're getting it, but like maybe it takes 3 times as long or twice as long to get the nicotine, versus like a Zin is like right away. Like you basically throw a Zin pouch away in fucking 10 or 15 minutes, probably like 10 minutes, and then maybe maximum 15 if you really like are trying to get everything out of it, and then you end up just popping another one basically. Like the video, chat. That's right. Any updates on Sui? A lot of good things happening with Sui, but like price, it's just victim to the prices going down with BTC. But I think Sui has a chance coming back. So does Sonic. There's haters in the comments and stuff, of course, but I mean, they're faggots. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, that's what it is. Like, this is when you buy coins. You just don't all in right now. You just like a slow, methodical DCA. And when shit gets really bad and red, you throw. I mean, you unzip the fucking dry powder bag and you chuck it. you know, unlike you actually read our comments on like most streamers. Yeah, dude, because I'm a fucking I love you guys, bro. I'm trying to take care of you guys. I'm trying to you guys are here for me and I'm here for you guys. Like that's what it is. That's what it is. I want you guys to succeed. The richer you guys get, bro, it's like wouldn't I want I would want imagine okay, right now there's probably across all platforms there's 100 people watching right now, right? Right. And a year and a half, I'm probably gonna have 300 people watching, maybe 270, right? Something like that, right? I would want the 100 motherfuckers, 140 motherfuckers that watch me right now, right, in these lows, to be as rich as fucking possible, because it's only more awesome. It's if you guys vibe with me, you guys watch the content and stuff, you guys are paying attention, you guys believe in the red pill to some extent. Obviously, you don't have to go all the way or all this, but at least you're red pill aware, right? Which is important, right? Because it's a choose your own adventure book, not you have to do this whether you want to, right? But once you've taken it, you know what the world is, right? And I just want more people like that in the world, because you're choosing what you want to do with your life, Whether you believe if you believe numerology or not. I'm a 33. I'm a teacher. I was a teacher before I even knew I was a 33. I spent my whole life wanting to find a teacher, and no one would teach me shit. So I just had to learn it my fucking self. And then I vowed that I was going to teach people shit that I never got taught, because people are fucking, I don't know what the fuck, maybe at the sexual competition, or if this guy gets chicken, then I get less chicken, which is ridiculous. But that's what it is. It's so ridiculous, dude. Small-minded motherfuckers, man. That's why I created the Citadel. That's why I originally created the Citadel and stuff with Charlie, because I wanted a place where people talk. There's no one to talk crypto with. There's no one to talk money now. Now with Instagram and TikTok and fucking YouTube, there finally is some place you can find a community. But fuck, this shit didn't exist 10 years ago, dude. It did not exist at all. You had the most normie shit ever. Now, I don't knock Dave Ramsey for some of the stuff he originally created, because it's very useful. If you're in debt, extremely useful. Debt snowball, It's not the most effective. Go after the smallest amount of debt you have, so you have some wins, because people fall victim to basically normal human condition. We like these little small wins, because then it's oh fuck, I just paid off this debt, I'm gonna pay the next one off, and the next one off, and then you're debt free. But this whole no debt stuff at all points in time is kind of dumb. There's nuance to everything. Yeah. People come to me for crypto and I barely know shit. You know more, bro. You know more than most people. Let me tell you this, man. You feel like you don't, because there's levels to everything, right? There's some people that know more crypto than me. They're absolutely, and the only people that know more crypto than me are probably just they're actually the developers that have been doing it for a long time. I met developers. Most developers are retarded. They don't know shit. They're copy and pasta motherfuckers. They just copy and pasta shit from the actual developers that actually know what they're doing. And that's it. Then there's developers that copy, if everyone copies and pastas a little bit, right? You have to, but then they actually learn something from crypto. Then they actually get some ideas and they try to apply their ideas. That's a different level. And then there's people who are created the fucking code completely themselves and shit. But then it just comes down to ideas at that point. But it's so few people even know how to actually put their things into the real world, that there's levels to all of it, right? There really is. Yeah. The more you know you don't know. Exactly. Right. I know a lot, but I know how much I don't know, and I know where my limitations are. Hey, man, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Any thoughts on a nobody's future, man? Anybody could be a nobody, bros. I think it's totally okay. It's survived the bear market. They're still pumping it out. They're still making videos. I think nobody's fine. Nobody's a part of the same cabal from Pengu. For the most part, I think they're using the same sort of intermediary in the background. So I'm pretty sure Vanek somewhere in the mix with it and stuff. And there was actually a pretty big investor who put a pretty substantial amount of money into VC investing into the project. I think of the tune of I'm going off of memory here. I think $3 million investments into nobody. but it's going to have a run. I mean, it's still survived right now. I think it jumped off from like the $2.5 million market cap. It jumped up to 10 million. It's, I think, currently at 6.5 million right now. So it's off its low. So even if Bitcoin have to retest back to 59K to get us back down to like 2.5K, they nobody's okay. But are you gonna make you're just gonna have to make money on it when it's just like violent when its next place besides like testing $10 million will be like 13 to 2, so it's gonna be like 2.5 to the $13.5 million market cap. Then it'll jump down. You can sell it off at that point. A little, take not all of it, but a portion. Then you get back in, and then you cultivate. I've just been using the joints to like just cultivate more nobody basically. When I don't have when I'm like allocate, because even me, like there's only so much money I have to allocate, right? So I'm like, I don't have a nice bag, so I'll just use like a couple swing trades to help me multiply the bag to make it bigger. And then later on, when it really starts making moves, maybe the first time it hits $30-40 million, I use that to just buy some more Solana, or use it to buy some Solana, some Hyperliquid, and shit, just have a bag. And just, I'm using the alchemy of these kind of like, trades basically, along with like DCAs into other cores that I believe in basically. Lark maxing. Yeah, but thank you, man. We got a lot of FNF people we've helped out over the years, man. So absolutely, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here still after 4 years, dude. I appreciate you, man. Shit, man. I'm gonna give you a little. And shout out to you, El Chivo, man. You're an inspiration, brother. I enjoy your content. Hope to see. I enjoy your content. I hope to keep learning from you and RH tokens and Sui because of you, man. Hey, appreciate it, man. Get some arrow, bro. Get some. I think Tao's gonna hit. I think Zcash will continue to go. There's a couple coins out here. I think they're gonna keep doing well, basically. So Lugan's permadebt? Not entirely. They're still developing it. They're still trying. They haven't given up. They have enough money and runway to keep the project running. So they'll make it into 27. I have a moon bag of it. I divested out like 70% of my entire holdings out. And I still have a portion. I just learned over the years, fuck it. You leave a moon bag, man. So I left like 30% of my original position. I'm still holding some liquid alluvium tokens. C'est la vie. Let's see what it does. But you need Ethereum to move, basically, for them to have money to do stuff with it and stuff, and then to get hyped up. But it's still around. So they're still working. I will say this: they're still working. So I can't say that for a lot of projects, but they're one of the few GameFi projects that are still like self-funded, still working, and they're still doing tournaments and stuff. So yeah, I'm never investing in anything from Australia again. I totally can understand that, bro. Like the Australians are such good people. But they make some shit. They make some shit fucking crypto investments. They really fucking do, bros. Like it's like beyond like it's not anecdotal. It's like beyond like it's fucking insane, bro. It's like I can't even like. It's almost in fuck, bros.
On 17 black. Oh shit, Giggle, you're crazy, man. 17 black. Let's go. Crazy, dude. Let it ride. Wait, what? What? 17 black. Oh my god. Heck shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's go home now. Let it ride. Okay. Stop, Giggle. Stop. 17 black. Let it ride. You can stop now. 17 black. Let it ride. You can stop. Stop. Giggle. The house always has the edge, Roy. The house is edging. Fuck Vegas. Fuck yeah, buy, sell, buy, sell. What are you guys doing? Shut up, Ugg, we're fucking crypto gurus. You're literally buying coins because the names make you laugh. Okay, now type in shit, piss, fart, poopy, butt, ass coin, see what comes up. Yeah, okay, I just bought it. You guys are fucking idiots. Let's fucking go, we made 100K! What?
Let's see. I call the gaming crypto stuff when I take off from the GT. Yeah, I mean, you're not completely wrong about that. I mean, like we were kind of saying the same thing for a while. Like it's either you need Ethereum fucking rocking and rolling, and then it'll pump regardless, or GTA 6. And I mean, GTA 6 is such a fucking meme at this point. Like, you'll probably have a brand new Biggie album. Like, I know Diddy somewhere, he has a secret amount of songs from Biggie that he hasn't released yet. Like, break in case of emergency. So like the diddler is going to come out with some shit at some point. Like, you know. Yeah. But I'm with you on that, bro. I'm totally with you on that. Absolutely. Oh, this is a really great question, man. RX, man. Saved up 10K dry powder. I don't know if I should continue to DCA or wait until new low, save more powder. Like, just lower the DCA out, but I would keep building up the dry powder to have that ready so you can buy like 2-3 Ethereum and throw the rest in the BTC, or like you might allocate $7,000 and like maybe you buy like a couple, maybe like 2-3 ETH, like 2 ETH and the rest in the Bitcoin, and then you save up the rest to buy some maybe like little Tau, maybe a little bit of like Zcash or some Hyperliquid. And then we're in Solana, and then like now you've set yourself a really good portfolio at really good prices. So when that multiplies, you'll be quickly at like within a year and a half or so, we should be at like $30,000, high $20,000 on that $10,000, not including whatever DCAs you do along the way with that capital. I think 2027 is a year of Ethereum, bro. Ethereum was made in the year of the GOAT. It's a 9 life path. 9s do good in crypto, but it also makes sense why it's so immature and retarded sometimes. Next year's the year of the GOAT. It's also my year as well. It's crazy when I thought the year of the cat and the year of the pig, right? 2019 and 2023, both years I found Hex in 2019. That was a fucking bag. Made a mint on that one, and then 2023 I found Pepe. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I wonder what else I'll find in 23. Might find some heat. Let me just look at one thing Arrow. How old is Aerodrome? When was it created? Yeah, the chart's so slow. Miguel, $1,500 ETH. It's possible, yeah. It's probably if it's going down to 15, I'll go to 14. Everyone was afraid to buy, but you still pushed the button. I did. I wish I'd pushed it with more money. I only did 6 Ethereum initially. I originally was going to do 12, and I said 6. Fuck. But that has stopped. Every time but most times when I get that feeling, it has saved my ass, like cutting my initial like big shot in and waiting a little bit, but it still was like it was a good move. It was a good move. God damn, dude. I don't know what's happening with CoinGecko, but it's slower than a motherfucker. Anyway, whatever. But I digress again. So I'm going to react right here to this unedited version of them talking right here. So this is Jeff Walton. He has his own version of Stretch. He's defending basically the Stretch and the preferred stock option here. And CoffeeZilla is basically saying, you semi-scam, this shit's retarded. It will go to zero. So let's hear.
Lehman shirt.
Also, tell me if you guys can hear the audio, please. Type one in the chat if you can hear the audio.
It's all the classics. Are
Okay, perfect. You guys can hear it. Beautiful. Let me turn the audio up a little bit too.
Are you ready?
Jesus, hold up. Not that high. Fuck. All right. So obviously, let's do the drip down here. He's got the dork glasses, nice hair. He's wearing the vest. He's wearing literally the finance bro. I've literally thought for Halloween I'm gonna dress like a finance bro for Halloween. It's coming in quiet. Okay. Let's see. I mean, tell me this a little louder.
To get started.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just curious, like, how this is going to work. Are we going live? Is this being recorded? Like, what's the?
So, just for people to know, this is his record. Jeff Walton made his version of the recording as well. CoffeeZilla released an edited version of it. I don't think he removed much, but I think he just removed like the beginning and the ends basically. But like this is like the full unedited version of them talking. Okay, cool.
I'm recording it on my end. You can record it on your end if you want to. I don't mind either way. But I will. Live doesn't really work because the quality's not good. It just does not upstream up well. So my plan is we're going to record this. I'm going to do like because I want to talk about the Michael Saylor stuff in general. And so I want to talk about the Michael Saylor stuff, give my take. But then I want to say, hey, so I brought on Jeff Walton. He does something similar, I think you would agree, to discuss the merits of this, the iPhone product. So that's the idea. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down to rip it. I've done several of these. I just spent an entire week at Risk World in Philadelphia talking about people that had no idea what was going on here. So, yeah.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, I spent the whole, he literally threw a shot right there at coffee. He's like, yeah, I spent a whole week talking to motherfuckers that don't know what they're talking about.
Great. All right. I will start recording on my end and we can get started. Okay.
Here we go.
Today we're speaking to Jeff Walton, someone who's making a product similar to Stretch. I created a video about it and it got a lot of either agreements from people who are like, yeah, this is going to be a disaster, or disagreement from people in the Bitcoin community. And they said, Steven, you got it all wrong. You got to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about. And you, Jeff, you came to me and you said, hey, let's debate the math live, because I was kind of making fun of you guys because you're the chief risk officer.
Crap. Yeah, you're throwing crap.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I was saying it's crazy. You guys offer a 13% preferred stock. It is like that's what the rate is now. It's variable. It's perpetual stock, perpetual preferred, and you guys back it with Bitcoin. You have some cash and you have some Stretch. Now, Stretch is another preferred stock, paying an 11.5%.
So his stock is basically a derivative of Stretch stock, like you said, BTC, and basically cash flow that they generate from their company. I believe they do some Bitcoin mining as well, but I'm not 100% on that. But basically, whatever income they generate, they use their money to basically buy more Stretch stock, which then when they get paid from Stretch stock and their version of their debt that they're using to buy BTC, they're paying their dividend. To me, it is a little bit of a degenerate thing because you're basically like, if Saylor never not pay the dividend, they're gonna have to pay the 13% dividend and stuff. They do have the option to turn off their dividend on the thing, but then that would tank the product basically. Insurance talk. Yeah, they're gonna talk about it in here and stuff like that, but it's not as degenerate as it sounds. But for me, I don't like derivatives. I don't like these kind of like mixture products and stuff for the most part, but you know, you can get away with stuff in a bull run, but you just have to get out at some point, right?
Yield.
So this product, if you were to jump into it, would be something that you would be into it for like the bull run. You would buy it like I'm not recommending you to buy it, but like if you were to buy it, you would watch the 4-year cycle. You would buy it now. You'd take the dividend payments you're getting from it, and then eventually you would dump it sometime in like late 28 or maybe middle of 29, and you get out before there's any problem, and then that would be the run you would have for it, and then you would reevaluate to jump back in a bear market at some point to see if there's a discount or like they totally were fine and then they get too greedy, and then you would just do it again basically based on the 4-year cycle. But do people do that? No, they do not. Where do people get into? Where do people get into? At the top of the market, because that's when shit's hot. All right.
And I was specifically making light of the fact that you're backing a 13% yielding preferred stock with an 11.5 yielding preferred stock. Let's break it down. How does this make sense?
Let's talk about capital management. Maybe I'll give a quick intro on myself so people have a little bit of a background. So my name is Jeff Walton, Chief Risk Officer at Strive. I had previously worked in the reinsurance industry. So I was a reinsurance broker. And what is reinsurance? It's insurance for insurance companies. So it helps manage the volatility of an insurance company's balance sheet. So you're looking at what is the risk profile of an insurance company and how can I reduce the volatility from a wildfire or a hurricane that's coming in the door. So insurance companies, you think about how they work, they are capital vehicles. They are managing capital and they're managing liabilities associated with that capital. And the capital that sits with those insurance companies is earning a yield over time by taking on risk. And so I left the reinsurance industry a couple of years ago to join a company that was working in Bitcoin because I see Bitcoin as digital capital. And
this is a smart idea. I mean, like, this was smart. He saw like where the wind was blowing. He took his expertise and he's pivoting himself into something to a smaller company where like he can grow into it, have equity, and become much more richer, basically. So, it's risky, but it was like it's working out pretty well for him now.
It is a more flexible, more transparent form of capital than the rest of the market can use and utilize. So I was identifying opportunity here. So you brought light to the fact that we've got a perpetual preferred equity security, SETA. It pays 13% annual. It is a variable interest rate. And we have multiple capital sources that are sitting behind that monthly obligation. One thing that's really unique here, I'll point out, we have $1.2 billion of Bitcoin as of today, and we have $10 million of debt. So that means we have 83 basis points of leverage. Okay.
Are you counting the preferred stock as leverage?
Preferred equity is not debt.
Right.
So I never.
But y'all.
So what they're talking about here, just to simplify it a little bit, is that the preferred stock is a stock. It's not a bond. It's not debt, but basically it is debt because they have to pay the dividend on it. And they're saying, no, we can cancel the dividend. But if you cancel the dividend, then that shit'll nuke really badly and very bad PR and stock their regular stock. If they are a publicly traded company, would probably crash on top of that as well. It would be very bad for their business. So they're playing funny games, but basically it is debt essentially. So like she's like, this is the one thing with the Jeff Walton thing. Like I get coffeezilla is sort of right here in the sense of it, because they're playing, like, people in finance and in media use complicated terms or weird vernacular to kind of like change up what they're doing. But basically they've essentially they've turned a stock, they turned it like something that would normally be a bond into a stock. And because it's a stock, they don't have to promise as many things as they would to a bondholder. Because if the company were to go under, the bondholders have to be made whole first, then preferred. But preferred the rules can be changed in preferred, and then common stock could get the money out, whatever's left over afterwards, before preferred, basically. So like, it's essentially is debt, but they're not saying it is debt, but it's debt, basically. Absolutely, it is debt. And like, basically Jeff's facing, they only have $10 million of debt, and they have $1 billion of fucking of capital from BTC at current price. So like, they're totally okay. The debt to like balance sheet ratio is like totally, like, it's not in any danger. They can always pay the dividend, basically.
Call it digital credit, which is confusing.
Yes.
Which is kind of some of my gripes with y'all, is that, and I don't mean y'all, I just mean you and Michael Saylor, y'all have similar terminology for things. And I think it is, and this is part of the reason I made the video, was I was like, I feel like this is misleading the average customer of these products. I think that if you look, to be fair, ultimately, if all risks are disclosed, that's fine. I think in the marketing, things can be misleading. And I'm just talking generally. I think that's where a lot of people get in trouble. They mislead in the marketing.
I completely understand. Yeah.
When you call it digital credit, I think it has this connotation of debt, which, as you just said, preferred equity is not debt. You have no obligation to pay back the underlying $100 or whatever somebody puts into this thing, right?
Yeah. So Coffee, let's think about this, right? What kind of risk?
Now, he's absolutely right. If everything got really bad, they could just say, we're not paying a dividend. We're going to have to pay anyone back. and they would basically be in no trouble, but there still would be trouble from the actual market, because then people would say, fuck this, and I'll dump the stock. So there still is like a social pressure to basically make sure they make good on this, because the reputation and their equity and people lending the money would basically go all to shit, basically. So, but it is fucked that on paper they're not liable to try to pay people back on it and stuff. It is one of my kind of gripes too with a lot of cryptos, as well. Like, I wish there kind of was like a crypto bill of rights in a way, where like you created outside of a meme token or a community token, but if you created something, it's like, hey, you have to keep working on it. A lot of crypto founders, they're good for like 2 years, maybe a cycle, and then they get lazy and they're like, I just don't want to do this anymore. It's like they're like from Toy Story, like they're like, I don't want to play. Like, it's like I don't want to play with you anymore, and then they jump off to something else. And in equities, that would not fly at all, because it's like, what the fuck, motherfucker? You're running this corporation and shit. You have to keep fucking trying to make this thing run. If it fails, that's one thing, but it's still viable. But you're just being a lazy cunt. What the fuck? So like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And like, coffeezilla is right to a point, but like, I get Jeff's like stance as well, because he's saying all this because he has to, because there's like the legalese of it and shit. Like, he can get in trouble and get sued and shit. So like, I get it as well. He's covering his ass.
Are you underwriting? If I have 83 points of debt, 83 basis points, if I have less than 1% debt on my balance sheet, and all I have is equity, and I've got $1.2 billion of equity, or $1.2 billion of Bitcoin, I've got 12 months of USD cash, what kind of risk are you underwriting in me being able to pay that 13% annually?
What kind of risk am I underwriting? You're underwriting the risk of Bitcoin. You're underwriting the risk of you guys getting hacked. You're underwriting the risk of
God damn it, I was muted. Sorry. Like, why Jeff like mogs coffee on this point right here is that, like, off of the current metrics that they're using right now, they only have $10 million of, I'm gonna call the preferred stock debt, all right? Because that's what the fuck it is, right? They have $10 million of debt, and they have $1 billion of assets, and they do generate some income, and then some of the $10 million they're investing into Stretch and into more BTC, basically. So like, they're fucking okay, and BTC can nuke, and they still have plenty of fucking money. Like BTC can nuke 90%, and they still would have the money to pay the dividend at $10 million of debt. But what do we know? But what do we know as crypto degenerates, right? Greed is good to a point, right? Is that, well, the market's hot right now, let's issue some more. Especially if the stock perform, not the preferred stock stays at 99, right? It stays at like $100, but it's the same as Stretch. It stays at like the same and pays a dividend. But maybe their company or the interest of people trying to like expand into them. I think they do a public stock, but I have to double check that. But if they do, their public stock keeps going up because they're looking good. They're in the media. They're making more money in fees and stuff. Fuck it. Let's push this to $100 million. And then if BTC goes up, right? Let's say BTC goes up to like $100,000. Now their 1.2 becomes 1.7. What's $100 billion? Like, we have like 17 to 1 for every $100 billion or every $100 million of debt. We have $1.7 million of assets. We can still afford to pay it. It's just this weird trap. What could happen is that where do they stop themselves in issuing new shares or new debt, basically? And then BTC's price could come down, and they can get into some trouble, basically.
You guys issuing outstanding debt that's senior to my preferred equity. You're underwriting. I mean, you're underwriting a lot of risks, which you guys lay out in your SEC filings.
Credit risk. You're underwriting credit risk. Our ability to pay that interest into perpetuity. You're underwriting the credit risk of the reserves that are sitting on our balance sheet. I mean, that's it. So when we call it digital credit, you're underwriting credit risk. Yes, it's not debt. There's no principal repayment. So, but why do people buy credit?
But I think my point is that the connotation of a lot of this stuff, and a lot of times people are. I listen to a lot of your podcasts. I listen to a lot of Michael Saylor's podcasts. A lot of times you guys use comparisons to, like, you'll even say, like, here's what bonds are performing at. Bonds are a completely different thing. They will repay, if you hold on to it to term, they will repay your principal, right? They're guaranteed, subject to some other things. But especially if you have treasuries, they're going to repay it, right? Whereas here, you don't have that same thing. And so I think, and Michael Saylor will even, say like, hey, he'll compare it to a bank account. Okay, it's not a bank account. Even in your own y'all's own disclosures, which you put below tweets, y'all say, "Hey, this is not a bank account. It's not a money market fund." Yeah. Right, but why is it being preferred to bonds and money markets and bank accounts?
I think it's fair
when it's not that.
I think it's fair to compare it against other credit instruments in the market. You could go look at other perpetual preferred equities that are issued by any other bank. Banks,
that's a more apples to apples comparison. But that's not a lot of what I see.
Compare it to credit risk of any instrument. It's mathematical, right? Like looking at, so how do you calculate the credit risk of a Boeing bond? You've got to look at the balance sheet. You've got to look at the cash flow. You've got to take a forward estimate of what the future performance.
Now, the one thing here that's like, he keeps bringing up bonds, because that's what it is, but it's not. It's so crazy. Like, this is the one thing that, like, coffee could. Why are you talking about bonds for? Talk about preferred stock that's paying a dividend. Well, because it's so brand new. It's old, but it's like it's brand new in crypto, basically. Them doing this, but there is examples of this, and it would be interesting to bring up those examples and stuff like that. But like Jeff Walton, he keeps talking about bonds, basically. But it is a great way to explain it as well, So like I understand it in a way, but like you see how like there's like this little like misdirection in a way.
So that business looks like into the future. Like that's it. That's how you underwrite credit risk. And so there's multiple ways to do that. You can underwrite credit risk based on.
But he's absolutely right about the credit risk side. Like this is how it works in insurance and in just like when you're trying to map out whether to invest into a company in the bond market. Or you're just looking at a company and seeing that the balance sheet's okay. Can they still pay their dividend and stuff like that?
Assets that are sitting on the balance sheet, you could underwrite it based on the performance of a company into the future. You could compare it to banks. You could compare it to other traditional bonds. They're credit instruments. Like you're underwriting.
No, but again, each of these have different kinds of risks, different kinds of protections.
Absolutely.
So when you're like,
it's math.
Right. So let's
like you're comparing the math, like you're comparing credit risk as an institutional underwriter. You're comparing credit risk. Like what is the probability that I am going to get paid that amount into the future? What does that look like? So you're looking at probabilistic outcomes into the future on any credit instrument. One, your ability to get your principal back out of it. That is traditional debt. Preferred equity, you think about the same. How long do I need to hold this preferred equity before I get my money paid back to me? So you think about duration of the instrument. How long do I need to hold it? If you're holding a JP Morgan 5% perpetual preferred equity, you have to hold it for 20 years before you get your money back, your initial money back that you put in. That's credit risk. That's what you're holding it for. You're not necessarily thinking about liquidity because you're thinking about a perpetual instrument, the duration of getting your money back into the future. That's the credit risk that you're underwriting. It's all math. You can compare all instruments relative to each other. It's just different with a perpetual that you're not getting a principal repayment back on compared to a traditional debt.
Okay, where I think we're going to disagree on that. Like you're saying, like credit risk. I think calling.
So that was actually an important sort of statement. So basically, if like you were to get a preferred stock from JP Morgan, it'd take 20 years to get your money back, plus your principal. Because you're getting paid 13%, it'd take what is it? Because like rule of 72, 13 divided by 72 would be 5.5 years. So it'd take you 5.5 years of getting paid that 13% dividend to make back the $100 you bought in stock. But then also that stock price could change. So it's like you're not, that $100 you put in might not be worth $100 5 years from now. So you could sell it and it could be worth $20. And so you could have an 80% loss. And then let's just say in the let's just say you sell it in 4 years, you sell it in 3.5 years, If you're lucky, if it's all $100, you end up like you came out good and you made 60 cents on that $100 or like $60 on $100 plus your $100 back. You won basically, right, in 3.5 years. But in 3.5 or 4 years, if for some reason that stock that's at 99 that's trading $99.80 to $100 or $101, if it were to drop down to $40 or $20, you have a loss. So you lost your principal, and then hopefully the dividends you got paid out could cover that. But basically, you just did a bunch of fucking time. That's one of the big dangers there. So let me go back there just a teeny bit.
What does that look like? So you're looking at probabilistic outcomes into the future on any credit instrument. One, your ability to get your principal back out of it. That is traditional debt. Preferred equity, you think about the same. How long do I need to hold this preferred equity before I get my money paid back to me? So you think about duration of the instrument. How long do I need to hold it? If you're holding a JP Morgan 5% perpetual preferred
just sleight of hand,
you have to hold it for 20 years before you get your money back, your initial money back that you put in. That's credit risk. That's what you're holding it for. You're not necessarily thinking about liquidity because you're thinking about a perpetual instrument, the duration of getting your money back into the future. That's the credit risk that you're underwriting. It's all math. You can compare all instruments relative to each other. It's just different with a perpetual that you're not getting a principal repayment back on compared to a traditional debt.
Okay, where I think we're going to disagree on the, like, you're saying like credit risk. I think calling it digital credit is misleading. That's fine. Let's talk about the credit risk of kind of these types of things. So let me say, first of all, I don't hold the position that I think you or MicroStrategy are collapsing tomorrow. I think that over time, this will become a snowball of liabilities that causes you guys and MicroStrategy to sort of unwind over time.
He's probably like, so I think Coffee's right on that to a point. Now, obviously, Jeff could just manage it a lot better. He can pay, like, believe it or not, he can get rid of shares from profits and get rid of debt. So like he could lower or preferred shares. He can destroy shares. And the same thing as we're getting rid of debt basically. But if we're to say like Jeff Walden's company versus like MicroStrategy, who's more of a degenerate motherfucker that just doesn't matter if it's a green candle, he just keeps buying. If they keep letting him money, he'll keep buying more Bitcoin. What person will do that? Like, I'm trying to think of the person that, like, if they offer him $10 billion next year, then $100 billion, that he would just ape it all into BTC. Who?
Asset. Well, Bitcoin is the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay. But take all your money, buy Bitcoin, then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin, then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business that's in your family for 37 years and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth.
I mean, Saylor has been shown that every time he can get money, he can sell like the office furniture, he will do it. So like, I'm not really worried about Jeff Walton because I think like he will increase the debt. I wouldn't be shocked. His company's probably can get to like $100 million of debt or perpetual stock, paying 13% dividend. But Saylor will keep fucking going. He'll keep fucking going, bro. If there's one thing I've learned over this motherfucker won't stop. Won't stop. Can't stop. He won't. And the problem is that like a lot of the last debt he gets, which is going to be gigantic, because if the Saylor stock, if MicroStrategy stock keeps fucking rocketing, because BTC is now at $160,000 or $250,000 BTC, and everyone and their mom is lending him money, they're lending you 11.5%, baby. Let's go. They'll issue more shares, which is issuing more debt, and then he'll ape it into more BTC, will help drive the price up. But at some point, like that newly fresh minted debt that's bought, that BTC that's bought in 2029 or late 28, is going to be at a substantially higher price. Let's just say in the hundreds of somewhere between like $130,000 average price to $220,000 average price of BTC. And then it goes down. That shit's underwater massively. And if maybe Saylor can, if there's one person that could jerry rig it, possibly, but I think Jeff Walton will be fine. The problem is he's mixing his with Stretch, because if Stretch can't pay, then they have that $100 million of debt equity that they owe there. But like if 11.5% of the dividend, right? So if that 11.5 ever stops for some fucking retarded reason, right? And he's normally having to pay out of his company's pocket besides a Stretch dividend is like what, 1.5%. Now that multiplies to another 11.5%. So it ends up becoming a thing where, like, if he has $100 million of debt, technically because of the dividend payment he owes, it's like he borrowed $1 billion. You get what I'm smoking here a little bit, right? So like, if I were to like multiply, like I don't know, just to fairly, if that 1.5, right? I'm not saying that's not happening to Saylor, but it could happen if shit gets really bad, or maybe they lower the dividend, right? But so let's do 13 divided by 1.5. That's an 8.6x times, like, me guesstimating here that they're probably eventually going to get themselves to $100 million of preferred stock debt, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That would put them at what? $866 million. It would put them at. Now, this is taking a lot of things into consideration that basically, like, you know, Saylor just completely stops paying the dividend or some bullshit, right? Which I don't think so 100%. But like, if it were to happen, this is like Max Payne, right? So like they would now owe. It's like if they borrowed this much on their, so you would have to hope that the $1.2 billion that they're currently under management goes up substantially, and they're able to add more because now they owe a lot, and they could burn through they could burn through a fuck ton of their principal or of their balance sheet paying this dividend off. I don't know. Am I crazy here? Now, this is Max Payne, Max Bad, basically, and right now he only owes $10 million and he has $1.2 billion. So he's like totally okay. So I think he'll be able to manage this. But like in Max Payne scenarios, like this could happen. This could happen because it's like, yes. And then what would they do? They would then at that point, what would be like the fucked up shit they could do? They could be like, all right, I'm not going to pay the dividend anymore because we can turn it off. We don't legally have to owe it to you guys. And then what would happen? People would dump the fuck out of that $100 share, and then it would go down to like $20 or $18 or $5. And then they would probably spend some of their balance sheet to buy it back. And like, it'd be kind of it'd be like a fucked up way for them. I mean, this would be like Max Bad and bad PR, but they could do it in a way and it'd still be legal where like the preferred stock goes to fucking $5, and then they can just pay back they just buy back all the shares, and then they just kept all the fucking money. I don't know. I think these products are good because it's going to ram up the fucking price and we're going to make money on it personally, but like there is danger here, obviously.
And hang a lot of people out to dry, because I think the more successful these products are, the larger the overhang when things go bad. I think the likelihood that Bitcoin goes up. I mean, a lot of this is like a bet, right? I think you would agree on.
Let's talk about the math. Let's talk about the math, because this is a mathematical equation. Like, that's all this is. We're talking about risk taking of a corporate balance sheet and a mathematical equation.
Right. But I find that this part of the conversation gets tough because, like, Michael Saylor will say, oh, you know, Bitcoin has to go up, what, like 2.5% in perpetuity for us to repay our dividends, right? He'll say stuff like that. But that is subject to current Stretch issuance. The more Stretch that
Coffee's right here. But, you know, he's like, all right, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. But he does know what he's talking about here. But like, off the current math and numbers, they're both right. They're both right. Like, Jeff's completely right now in the current. But CoffeeZilla is more thinking like a couple years down the line, because he has seen what's happened in the crypto drawdowns during like 22 and currently 26, you know, You know, bro, man, bro, right now, this guy, he keeps saying math, and it keeps giving me like these Vietnam flashbacks of Kareem the Dream saying the math. Oh my God, bro. It's taking me out right now, bro. It's the math. You guys just don't get the math, bros. The math.
I live in a town where there's like no emo girls and no scene girls, and it sucks. There's all these basic bitches. But listen to Taylor Swift. Ew, Taylor Swift is disgusting. I'm just really pissed.
I mean, I think one of the best strategies for them to do is like, you know, if they only have 10 million, they can go up to 50 million and be okay. And then basically like use this for, I don't know if they have a stock. I have to look if they have if they're actual, like if they have a stock for the main company with that. Because like the real money made here on them would be like, because of all the reporting and interviews he's getting and mogging people on like some of these interviews. It's only bringing more people to buy his equity so they can make more money. It's that way. And hey, more power to him, man. I get it. The squeaky wheel gets all the grease. But I'm a numbers guy, but then I completely ignore the numbers because the numbers are correct right now. It's just like how much greed or how far are they going to push it? I think Saylor's going to push it, bro. I mean, I don't even have to guess at that. Motherfucker's going to push it. Like he can maybe the only time I think Saylor could change is in 28, possibly just because there could be a regime change, and he's like, and then they calm it down. That could happen. But like if it doesn't, oh my God, you think Saylor ain't gonna keep fucking max bidding? That's all he does. All he does is max bid. Like Saylor controls 4% of the Bitcoin supply currently. Like Tom Lee controls 4.5% of the supply of Ethereum currently right now. But man, the math shit's cracking me up right now, dudes.
It is issued, the more that math changes, right? That math is changing dynamically.
Yep.
I think you would agree to that, right?
Yeah.
As they issue more stretch, the more Bitcoin needs to go up per year in order for them to continue to repay that stretch.
Yep.
Because they start with this like large capital Bitcoin, and then they're like issuing like small amounts of stretch.
Not necessarily, because if the underlying value of the Bitcoin goes up, that's de-amplifying the relative balance sheet. So the balance sheet's getting bigger, right? They've got 818,000 Bitcoin held on the balance sheet. So as the price of Bitcoin goes up, the balance sheet's getting bigger, which de-amplifies. It actually reduces.
This is absolutely true too. This is why there's a lot of truth in what both of them are saying right here. And Coffee's like no, but this is true. If BTC keeps going, like BTC from here, we're at like 70,000, like $76,000 BTC. People want to kill themselves. Do you think there's a really high chance we're back at like $120,000 by the end of 27? Right? Stretch that thing. That's right. By the end of 27, do you think by the end of 27 we're at least not $100,000 on BTC? Please. Yeah, of course we are. Right? So like their debt to asset ratio shrinks because the asset side gets even fucking larger if they don't add any more shares or more debt. But will they add more debt? Of course they will. At least Saylor will. Jeff's company might not, right? So I'm not gonna like put that out there because he seems like they seem a lot more like risk cautious here a little bit. Obviously, like the derivative part is a little. Obviously, I think a part of this is just to bring them attention, which is going to make them money. But come on.
Yes, the leverage ratio, the financial leverage of the vehicle.
Yes,
because the way you have to think about this is like an Aave loan. Like I borrow on my BTC like 25% LTV, and then Bitcoin doubles in price. So I go from a 25% LTV loan to value. If it doubles in price and it goes back to like $120,000, my loan to value ratio goes to 12.5 instead of 25%. And if Bitcoin keeps going up in price, let's just say it goes to 210. It goes down to 6.25. So it goes from like boom to boom to boom. So it goes from like 25% debt ratio to 12.5% debt ratio to 6.25 debt ratio at like, let's call it 76. Yeah, let's call it 140 and like 220. Okay. The numbers are roughly correct, but roughly off a little bit as well. But like it's like 76 current, then it goes to 140, then 220, which is all possible. But that's only true if they stay at that debt load. Not if they borrow more. Now, obviously, they haven't borrowed enough to where, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, they could keep adding to it. They could quadruple the amount they owe, and, like, it still doesn't matter because they haven't borrowed that much compared to how much their assets are. But Sailor is really, like, the problem here of, like, how far is motherfucker gonna push it, basically. which is funny.
And again, this is why, like, we just need to differentiate, like, debt versus preferred equity. And this is why I find the terms kind of misleading, because it's like financial leverage that kind of implies that. I know what you mean, though. I know what you're saying there. But the same is true when it goes down. So like this is kind of my point.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff is going to have a flywheel effect because, Michael Saylor, he's talking right now. There's a flywheel effect when you're issuing yield, but you're also buying an asset with the yield you're issuing, because you have this flywheel effect where you're increasing the price by buying the asset that is the yield is backed by that asset. Okay. That can unwind in the same type of way.
Absolutely.
As you sell the asset to repay dividends, right, you will have a negative sell pressure on that product, which is like why it was a big deal when Michael Saylor was like, hey, we're going to actually sell Bitcoin.
So just to go over to the comment. So Sailor is saving us and dooming us. Yes, he's saving us and dooming others. If you're buying crypto in 2026, Sailor is a big G, baby. What's good, brother? But man, he's fucking everyone in 29, brother. Like the guys who are getting in 29, dog. Fuck. But us right now, we winning. They losing, but we winning. The motherfuckers that get in later. Miguel, should I buy Solana at $500? Fuck. Oh, fuck, bro. Oh. Miguel. I just got into crypto right now, bro. I want to make $1 million, bro. Like, should I buy Solana? It's $800.
Grand Regent, this planet is fucking sick, Grand Regent. Grand Regent, come in, please stay. Please. They have motorcycles here, Grand Regent. Motorcycles. Have you ever tried a cigarette, Grand Regent? Oh my God, Grand Regent, they're so good. I'm up to 3 packs a day. Grand Regent, they have goth daddies and Latinas here, Grand Regent. Please, can we stay? Please, Grand Regent. Grand Regent.
I mean, it's so fun, but that's what the game is, bro. We're in the 4-year side. That's what happens, bro. Like, you guys get the gift. Shout out to you guys get the ambrosia. You guys get Valhalla and shit. As long as you don't fumble it, you don't get too greedy, you take some fucking goddamn profits. You listen to the prophet and you take some profits. And you DCA. You start the fucking DCA right now. You don't have to do 100% of the whole fucking paycheck, but you do 25, you do something now. Because when you don't got money, time is your friend. And right now, time is your friend. The cycle is your friend right now. Yeah. I remember when someone was talking trash about the CMC and they urged everyone to buy the top of Solana. Bro, I know, bros. I know guys who are talking shit about us that like completely miss Solana. Like completely at like sub $20, like $9, $7, bro. A ton of our guys got into Solana under $10. Like I mean, even I got into it at $16 when I got into size, $16 to $25, right? I know guys they barely started talking about Solana around 100. Even at 100, they still won, right? That's how even being like a broken clock, you're still right just because of the cycle. You can still get saved. But like, god damn, dog. Like they got in at 100. But when they got in 100, I was already on a fucking 5x. So if I put, let's just say allegedly, I put like 20 grand. It, like that's not the number, but let's say I put 20 grand. By the time this motherfucker was recommending Solana, I'm up 100 G's. I'm up 80 grand in profit. Right? So I bought, let's just say you bought six, you bought, let's see, let's do the math. Let's do the math. The math. $20,000 divided by $16 is 1,250 Solana times what price was Solana mostly at? What price was Solana mostly at in 24, 25? It was around $240. It kept coming back to $240. That's 300 grand on 20,000. Right? Versus someone who put 20 grand at $100, right? Let's put $20 divided by $100 is 200 Solana times 240 is 48 grand. So big 300 Hey, I don't know what side of the aisle you want, but I know which side I want. You know? I don't know. You know. But that's real numbers. That's real shit. That shit happened. We caught that. Like, anyone that was with us back then caught a portion of that. Obviously, you can scale it down to a grand. Some people, I know guys who threw 100 G's in that motherfucker. 100 G's plus in that motherfucker. And I know guys that just did $500 and did a couple there. You still made a dub. It was nice. Now, I would say a good portion of people gambled about 50% of it or more. It's fucking meme coins. But the casino, it is what it is. But even if you lost half of it gambling on fucking meme coins and you just were just fucking terrible, you still would be up 100. You still would be 150K versus 48K on a dude that just like didn't touch anything. Even the guy, this pleb who bought Solana at $100, that's nothing bad, but it just comparatively, right? Who didn't gamble at all, just didn't do shit, didn't speculate, just kept it all in Solana. Versus the guy who fucking gambled like half of that, gambled about fucking with 675 in Solana on meme coins and lost every fucking trade, still is $150,000 in value versus 48K.
I knew a motherfucker who was so ass at trading that this nigga became good at trading from literally doing the opposite of what the fuck he was gonna do, gang. That's how shitty that nigga was at trading. That every decision that nigga made, the stock literally did the opposite every single time. And so what this nigga started to do was literally, instead of him going with his first thought, he would do the opposite of what his first thought was, and that nigga would hit every time, gang. That's how that nigga became.
Anyway, all jokes aside. It's just math, right? But it's scary. It's scary to do these investments because there's no for sure thing. It's scary. It is scary. Like I wasn't 100% sure on Solana until it was like $14, and then the $14, $12 around that time, and then I was getting the capital ready to fucking insert. And by the time I was able to do the trade, it was like $16 already. I still made a big W. I had guys like, shout out to my boy Art. My boy Art bought fucking Solana at $7, motherfucker, because he had the capital ready. But I had my capital to buy Ethereum cheap in the in the $800, $700 range. So testicular fortitude, but still, dub's a dub. Dub's a dub. Dub's a dub.
I find the terms kind of misleading because it's like financial leverage. That kind of implies that. I know what you mean, though. I know what you're saying there. But the same is true when it goes down. So like this is kind of my point.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff is going to have a flywheel effect because, Michael Saylor, he's talking right now. There's a flywheel effect when you're issuing yield, but you're also buying an asset with the yield you're issuing because you have this flywheel effect where you're increasing the price by buying the asset that is the yield is backed by that asset. Okay, that can unwind in the same type of way.
Absolutely.
As you sell the asset to repay dividends, right, you will have a negative sell pressure on that product, which is like why it was a big deal when Michael Saylor was like, hey, we're going to actually sell Bitcoin to pay dividends. That's where you get into sort of the, I know you guys hate the Ponzi adjacent characterization.
Yeah. It's just
the concept though is very simple, which is that, one key part of a Ponzi scheme is that you fund the payments to new investors, to old investors with new investors coming in. So let me give you an example. If, for example, MicroStrategy funded the payments of Stretch dividends with Stretch issuance, do you think that would be Ponzi adjacent?
Cash is.
So just to answer what CoffeeZilla said, and CoffeeZilla said, yeah, it would be a Ponzi technically. Yes, 100%. but they're taking the difference is they're taking the capital that they're being given, investing into an asset or like a lot of business do into a business investment or a project that will generate future income. And that's the gamble that people are lending money to. That's the big difference. The difference, if I'm taking the capital just to pay back the dividend, and I'm doing nothing with the capital just to pay back the dividend and then just paying other people, then that's a Ponzi. But they're taking the money to buy BTC, which is an asset that could go up in value, and that's the speculation, and it's not a Ponzi technically. But there is chances of losses. That's like the part that people have trouble with, the jump there and stuff. Because it would be Ponzi adjacent, absolutely. If that's all they were doing was like they were just issuing shares in debt, and then just paying the dividend with it only, and then spending the cash on themselves. Like they would take without buying an asset or trying to something to generate income or capital or appreciation of that asset they can use to pay back the dividends or pay down the debt basically, or preferred shares. So like coffee is in Coffee's explanation, he's 100% right. That would be a Ponzi.
With new investors coming in. So let me give you an example. If, for example, MicroStrategy funded the payments of Stretch dividends with Stretch issuance, do you think that would be Ponzi adjacent?
Cash is fungible. So however the cash comes in, I mean, that could be formulated in different ways. The fundamental difference between a Ponzi scheme and a capital management vehicle, like what's happening right here, is a Ponzi scheme doesn't have reserves. This capital vehicle has reserves. It has reserve capital.
But the reserves are just the investors
are the Bitcoin,
putting more money in.
Are the cash, right? As soon as the capital comes in the door, you're adding more capital to your reserves to be able to pay out the dividend into the future.
But a Ponzi scheme also has reserves, which is wait.
No, it doesn't. A Ponzi scheme does not have reserves. No,
it doesn't have any reserves. So when people,
yes, Ponzi's have reserves. They're both right, and they're both like, God damn, dude. Oh my God. This is where like coffeezilla got tongue tied a little bit over the hit the like button, you guys. But like Jeff's wrong on this too. Like, yes, Ponzi's have reserves. A bad Ponzi is they fucking like they spend every fucking dollar they get in the door and only pay out a couple people and like oh my God. So like the reserves are coming from the capital as long as they're not buying assets. And then they keep trying to pay back the dividend with that. And the thing is, you don't have the transparency in the Ponzi to see what the reserves are. Where like in these companies, you do see what they have. And some people are speculation with it. Even with Luna's a bad example with that. But like even Luna, people are like, oh, there's still like $800 million of equity. So they can still pay the dividend for another like 8 months. So like, fuck it, I'm still going to be in this getting paid the 20% dividend because they're nowhere near running out of capital just yet. This is the most, because they're both playing this game to like one up each other with terms. It's like, but in this scenario, this could happen. But then Jeff says, no, in this scenario, this could happen. You're stupid. Math. But if you think about it like this, what if this happens? Yes, that's true. But that won't happen because right now, currently, it is like this. So yes. So they're sort of right on the same time, but they're different on the days. Yeah, they're right at Jeff's right currently, and like Coffee's right if it goes like human nature goes usually. Correct. Yeah. But this is the problem with like a lot of finance is like they're doing this on purpose, obviously. And people will be lied to. Obviously, I'm happy Jeff got the W because like coffeezilla all 24/7 just shits on crypto, but like crypto also makes itself so fucking ridiculous it deserves it too. Like I've been in crypto a long time. It pisses me off how much bad characters are in crypto. I do believe there's some people that bad shit, like they're not trying to do anything bad and it happens and they get fucked by the market and then they make some bad decisions, right? But like, Jesus, man. Let's go back here a little bit.
The vehicle has reserves. It has reserve capital.
But the reserves are just the investors
are the Bitcoin,
putting more money in.
The reserves are the cash, right? As soon as the capital comes in the door, you're adding more capital to your reserves to be able to pay out the dividend into the future.
But a Ponzi scheme also has reserves, which is wait.
No, it doesn't. A Ponzi scheme does not have reserves.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't have any reserves. So when people invest, they're not putting
That's
that
the whole
into.
Thing. There's no reserves in a Ponzi scheme.
Yes,
it's like
there is.
You're bringing in new capital and you're giving it to.
Wait, no. Initially,
Coffee's absolutely right. There is reserves in a Ponzi, absolutely. because they get a certain amount, whatever they promise as a dividend. They'll as long as they don't spend all the capital right away, they have a certain amount of a runway, and if they keep getting new people, then the runway keeps increasing basically, depending on the terms they set. But if they spend the cash flow really rapidly and they lower it down because they start playing this game of like, because they're living lifestyle and spending it badly, then at any point in time, the amount of people that jump into the Ponzi slows down and they burn through a lot of the capital. That's where they get into trouble. But like Coffee's right. Like there is reserves in a fucking Ponzi. Like, because if not, then it's like they make one payment, or like, well, basically what happened in the Ponzi is like they would take your money, you would never get a payment, and they run. You'd be like, I got scammed right away. You find out right away you got scammed.
You're adding more capital to your reserves to be able to pay out the dividend into the future.
But you know, a Ponzi scheme also has reserves, which is wait.
No, it doesn't. A Ponzi scheme does not have reserves.
It doesn't.
No,
it doesn't have any reserves. So when people invest, they're not putting
That's
that
the whole
into.
Thing. There's no reserves in a Ponzi scheme. It's like you're bringing in new capital and you're giving it to.
So what Jeff's talking about is like a late stage Ponzi, when like the wind down's happening, that they've already spent all the fucking money and they're just like actively recruiting to just keep it afloat, to keep the machine going, because it's like they're fucking spent it already. So I can't believe I created the term late stage Ponzi. I can't believe this is like the nuance of all this shit. Like I've created the term late stage capitalism. I'm talking about late stage fucking Ponzi's, bro. Oh my God, bro. What is crypto? What is this fucking conversation?
Just the
reserves are the Bitcoin,
putting more money
reserves
in.
are the cash, right? As soon as the capital comes in the door, you're adding more capital to your reserves to be able to pay out the dividend into the future.
But you know, a Ponzi scheme also has reserves, which is wait.
No, it doesn't. A Ponzi scheme does not have reserves.
Does it?
No,
it doesn't have any reserves. So when people invest, they're not putting
That's
that
the whole
into.
Thing. There's no reserves in a Ponzi scheme. It's like you're bringing in new capital and you're giving it to.
Wait, no. Initially,
this is how Jeff Walton just like fucking honey dicked them, sugar dicked them, or like I guess it'd be like spice dicked them down. Is that he caught him on this whole Ponzi thing, which was really hard for him, like to jujitsu out, and then he caught him with the other one, and then with like the actual hard math of insurance and like how insurance on Ponzi's, and he fucking ganked them, dude.
Initially there are reserves though, right? Like let's say I take in $100 from you and I say, look, I'll pay you 10% forever, but I don't do anything productive with that asset. And I'm like, and I just, so I
this is like you're gaslighting your girlfriend into like, I didn't cheat on you. No, but I saw you fucking dick down this bitch. Look, Coffee, look. That's not what happened at all. And you just keep denying, keep like, oh, like that's not what a Ponzi is. That's not what cheating is. That Coffee, that's not what cheating is. That's not what cheating is. Like, what are you fucking talking?
I now have $100 in reserve. I'm paying you out with that reserve. Eventually that reserve runs out and I'm going to need new inflow of capital. The problem for a Ponzi scheme is it creates a kind of debt snowball.
Yeah.
And now where I will agree with you, there's some differences, is that traditionally Ponzi's are seen as having an element of deception in them. Where I think you guys are different is, and this is what I say, when risks are properly disclosed, if people want to take on that risk, I understand. What I'm saying though is similar to that. I think that it is going to.
Jeff liked that answer, but also was like, fuck, I can't look like I like that answer. I have to like, but he liked that shit. Like you could tell like the little like body, the body language. Like
it creates.
I hate those creepy smiles. All finance who do these dumb smiles.
It's a kind of debt snowball.
Yeah.
And now where I will agree with you, there's some differences, is that traditionally Ponzi's are seen as having an element of deception in them. Where I think you guys are different is, and this is what I say, when risks are properly disclosed, if people want to take on that risk, I understand. What I'm saying though is similar to that. I think that
somehow he was like disgusted that he said that like that was good though.
It is going to likely be an unsustainable vehicle unless Bitcoin just goes up into the right forever, which I don't think it will. And I don't think it's a safe bet to do that.
Is an insurance company a Ponzi scheme?
Oh, here comes the fucking you got right here, bro. Oh my God, Jeff Walton, I got to give him the W on this, bro. Whoo, here comes the fucking. Oh, he's got his girl on the ropes. Change the conversation. What your friend Tisha, what she did, was that cheating? You told me that wasn't cheating when she obviously cheated on the boyfriend, but I did the same thing. Is that cheating? So it's not cheating when your girlfriend does it. I mean, it's not like, whoo! This is like reversing your own girl's words on her over some friend shit. God damn, Jeff did a masterclass. This is the jujitsu you do to get out of like the cheating shit, bro. Oh, I did a nut though. Oh no. Like that's what happened right now. It's like you got her on the ropes a little bit with some tongue tie shit, and then like you change the subject on something else, and then you go and then you hit them with something their friend did that she agreed with, and then now her brain's fucked because she's trying to keep these lies together. Oh,
Is in an insurance company a Ponzi scheme?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Because they have business activities that are providing cash flows.
They're taking on risk.
Oh,
insurance companies have capital, and they're taking on risk to pay liability into the future. Here's the reality, Coffee.
No, but they have actual they have cash flows.
Give me room.
They have real business activities.
The cash flow is the risk that they're selling. They're selling risk, right? So believe it or not, believe it or not, almost 100% of the claims that get paid out on insurance company balance sheets is from premiums that they're collecting in the door. Almost 100%.
Okay.
So under your definition, you would call an insurance company a Ponzi scheme.
Oh
no, they have real like profits. They have real cash flows that aren't just coming from
are the assets that are
damn, bro. Goddamn, Jeff, man, I gotta give you this one. Jeez, bro, the fucking you just gave Coffee right there, bro, with his own words.
You would call an insurance company a Ponzi scheme.
No, they have real like profits. They have real cash flow.
I might just have to start dressing like a finance bro just to like do my bullshit, you guys. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to wearing glasses, and I don't even need them, just because like this fucking verbal fucking is like, because absolutely like him dressed like a finance bro absolutely helped him out. Yeah, he's too prideful to yield the easy point to push his main argument. Absolutely, he caught him on because like really, I mean like insurances are like a necessary. They're evil. There is a necessary evil, right? Absolutely, it's true. It's true. These insurance companies, if they don't make outside investments, but initially when an insurance company starts off, they're betting. They're betting. They're going to give you insurance on, like, as an example, like you not getting hurt or workers' comp. They're hoping you don't get hurt at all. That only like 1 or 2 people in 100 get hurt and have any claims at all. And then when you do pay them, you're hoping that you're only paying them with 20 people's worth of annual payments, and they keep the other 60 cents. The other 60 people's worth of payments on their balance sheet as profits, and every year, and then they take that money and invest it into bonds and generate more profits, and eventually they do build up an asset class where they can afford to pay these things. But it's
the profits coming from are the assets that are protected on their balance sheet, the reserves,
or payment. No, but people are paying for products.
What's the product? What's the product?
Look, an apples to apples comparison is, let's say an insurance company.
Oh, another huge one is these fucking finance bros and these YouTubers who holier than thou. It's so crazy to me. Like every time I see these people, they like thou touts too much kind of motherfuckers. They're married, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being married, but I always find these motherfuckers are always wearing gold wedding rings. I know it's a classic, but like, it's just like pattern recognition with some of these motherfuckers. It's like, how do I look more trustworthy? I'm gonna wear a basic ass gold wedding ring to show you that I'm a family man. That if I'm fucking you for my family.
Was offering like a yield based on something, and then they're like, what's the yield based on? Well, it's based on our balance sheet. Well, where's the balance sheet coming from? Well, we're selling this yield, right? So like that is not the same as an insurance company, which is actually offering a product, which is, let's say I want to go insure my car. I'm paying premiums.
Equity, not a product.
It's a stock. It's a perpetual preferred stock.
It's a product.
No.
You're holding it. You're holding it for a reason.
Well,
It is a product. It is a product. And it's you're like, what are you offering? But like then you could almost say that like then in a Ponzi you're offering a dividend payment. Like and usually in these Ponzi's are like we're going to do this and this with the capital, but they don't do that with the capital. That's the difference. Is they don't do that with the capital. They still pay you the dividend, but they're spending the cash on themselves.
I'm holding it because I think I'm going to get paid a dividend. That's not a product. I don't buy Nvidia. Is Nvidia stock a product?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. It is.
Absolutely.
No, their GPUs are their products.
Yeah, but
they're not.
But the stock is a product. The stock.
Jeff's absolutely right. There is a product. Bitcoin is a product. Ethereum is a product. It's a product to get rich or get very poor. It's to speculate. That's the product. Most of the equity market is just outside of maybe the S&P 500, which is like an amalgamation of so many companies to like offset the risk and stuff. But then you also lose out on some of the massive returns, but it still gives really great returns. It's speculation is one of humans' favorites assets. Absolutely, like that's the product. It's one of the products humans love the most, is to speculate.
It is a product.
Damn, dude, he got sun so fucking bad. He's covering his fucking face, dude. That's insane. That's insane monkey like body language fucking orangutan shit or bonobo ape gorilla shit. Look at this. Embarrassment, hiding face. God damn.
You're holding it. You're holding it for a reason.
Well, I'm holding it because I think I'm going to get paid a dividend. That's not a product. I don't buy Nvidia. Is Nvidia stock a product?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
No, their GPUs are their products.
Yeah, but
they're not.
But the stock is a product. The stock is a product.
This is what people don't understand because they're not in financial markets. Now, obviously, coffeezilla is rich enough; he has money, but like that is like the big difference between Main Street, like being in the investor class and being just a business owner. And like I'm just a salt of the earth kind of guy, but you don't understand speculation then, and you don't understand like that is a major part of the human society. Is this ability to speculate on the future, and you hope you're right, and you can get very, very rich for being correct. This is massive. He's coming off so smooth with the look and how he smiles and says some finance bro slick shit, and coffee lost the sauce. Yeah, he got lost in the sauce, baby. Like, this is absolutely true. And then on top of that, like, that's what it is.
No, it's not.
People can hold it to store value, right? Like there's other things you could, like our perpetual preferred equity instrument is a product.
But like before this part of it, like I was agreeing mostly with coffeezilla, but like Jeff as well. There was portions of it that's also like there's truth. That's the evil shit. Is like like there is truth in it all. There is like bliss in the blue pill. There's bliss in the red pill, but there's like dark shit I don't like about the red pill. And there's this retarded. Once you know about the blue pill, there's just horrible shit about the blue. I can't watch Friends. I never liked. There's something instinctually in me. I couldn't watch Friends. I thought it was just mad gay that these females were just shitting on these dudes 24/7, and like it's just like there's just like there's good and bad in it all.
It's not though. It's
your insurance policy. Is your insurance policy a product?
Your insurance policy.
Yeah, your home insurance policy. Is it a product?
It would be a product, yes.
Yeah,
but it's
so
not a stock in a company.
You're buying a financial contract. An insurance policy is a financial contract.
I just disagree. I just disagree. It's a product.
When you file your homeowner's insurance, it is a financial product. It's a financial contract to indemnify you in the event of a loss. That's all it is.
Yeah, no.
Our
that's fine.
That instrument is a financial product.
Okay.
We're a structured finance.
And this is another thing. Yeah, these. So basically, yeah, you're right. So the beginning, coffee was like saying and controlling the flow of the conversation. Now he has the flow of the conversation because he can't answer one, and then he hits him with another one, and now he's in the power seat right now. This is absolutely, completely true right here.
Company. It's really simple. Like it's not confusing. In fact, I think the simplicity is confusing people because it's so simple. Actually,
it's a simple pitch, but it's a complex risk.
Let's talk about the Bitcoin market for a moment.
Okay.
Because one thing that you are kind of hanging on here is effectively thinking that strategy is the only player in the entire Bitcoin market.
Finally, one of my students finally said it. Everything's a Ponzi. Everything's a Ponzi. Because everything will end. Your life will end. Doesn't mean you can't derive value from stuff. Now, there's things that are much more on the scam spectrum you stay away from, and stuff that have much more longer value and will stay here for much longer. But like that's one of the biggest things about money. It's all a Ponzi, because once you understand money and all this shit, it's all just human belief, and human belief is so fucking fickle. But when something is ingrained through generations, it's so hard to. It's like it becomes a religion. It becomes money. It becomes belief, becomes power. What backs the U.S. dollar? The military, the U.S. consumer, God.
Which is fundamentally flawed. So the last 11 days, strategy was not in the market buying any Bitcoin, right? $350 billion of Bitcoin traded in the last 11 days. That's 4.4 million Bitcoin. Okay. Strategy is not even in the market. So we're talking about a globally liquid market that has nothing like strategy is just one player in the market. So you start to think about, right? So strategy potentially selling Bitcoin to pay a monthly dividend obligation. Right now, with the Bitcoin price at $80,000, they would have to sell 1,530 Bitcoin to pay a monthly dividend obligation. 4.4 million Bitcoin traded in the last 11 days.
Okay.
I think the market can handle 1,530 Bitcoin being sold to pay a dividend on the instrument. There's so many other people that are buying and selling Bitcoin.
So this point was so soft, he stopped attacking right here. This is where coffeezilla could have took over the conversation back, because like it is bullshit. This is where coffee could have completely attacked back. How bullshit is it that the guy that says he'll never sell any Bitcoin is now saying he sell Bitcoin? Because like, I mean, this is absolutely true. Saylor fucking for years said I'll never sell a fucking Bitcoin ever. I'm just gonna keep buying and buying and buying. And now that like he has a product and a financial, he changed his fucking tune. He like Saylor does get deserved to attack a little bit. And he even came up with the fucking tweet that said like, as long as you buy more Bitcoin than you sell, you're winning in BTC. Which is true, which is something that me and Charlie say, but like that's not what Mr. Saylor says. So this is where Jeff's is weak right here. This is where coffee could have laid into him.
Bitcoin on the entire market. So you think about the liquidity, like the liquidity of the underlying Bitcoin held on balance sheet has always been there. That's always been an option. They could always sell Bitcoin to pay out the dividends if they needed to. The reality is the cost of capital is much better on the equity. You could think about cost of capital on equity. They could raise equity to pay the dividends. They could raise perpetual preferred equity to raise the dividends. They've got operating.
No, what people find weird is that like you're selling Stretch to buy Bitcoin. You're selling Bitcoin to pay out Stretch. It goes back to that, like it looks like one of the key elements of, and again, I don't want to use the P word twice, but it looks like you're using, through like an intermediary vehicle, which is you're transferring it into.
You have a reserve asset, like
a non-yielding reserve asset that's paying yield.
Yeah, we are converting it. We are transforming it. We are transforming the instrument into two products. We bring the Bitcoin in on our balance sheet, right? So we use our capital structure to separate risk tranches. The seniority in our capital structure provides a senior position, a lower risk position compared to the equity, right? So you're comparing a senior position, less risky, compared to a junior position, more risky. This is capital structure 101, not complicated. Okay, so when we take the Bitcoin and we talk about paying 13% annually on a senior position in our capital structure, we are carving off excess risk and excess return, and that excess risk return goes to our common stock. So our common stock makes our common stock much more volatile, right? So our common stock is like a compressed view. We call this amplified Bitcoin. So we've got digital credit, we've got amplified Bitcoin. And if you,
this is a side thing. I think your common equity is going to get crushed in long term because they're junior.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's junior. Let me talk. Let me go.
He mocked him right there. Shut the fuck up. Let me say my piece. Jesus. Coffee, come on, bro.
Paying 13% annually on a senior position in our capital structure. We are carving off excess risk and excess return, and that excess risk return goes to our common stock. So our common stock makes our common stock much more volatile.
Okay, so they do have equity. So I mean, basically, this is a marketing ploy. If like right now they can, it's being used as a marketing ploy, and it also helps the balance sheet of the main stock. So the stock, they're going to make a ton of their money off the stock, basically, and this is just a way for them to get money. So their company keeps being worth more money, and then basically it's trading at a premium of its balance sheet, and they're able to make a ton of money off the common stock. Yeah.
Right. So our common stock is like a compressed view. We call this amplified Bitcoin. So we've got digital credit, we've got amplified Bitcoin. And if you,
this is a side thing. I think your common equity is going to get crushed in long term because they're junior.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's junior. Let me talk.
Dude, this is a thing white dudes do a lot. I've noticed a lot. They do some shit. They're like, they try to end a conversation like, no, let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk. No. Because he had him on the ropes there. Absolutely, Coffee's right. Absolutely right. If Bitcoin craters, their common stock's going to fucking nuke. You can look at fucking MicroStrategy, and you can look at, and eventually their shares. I haven't looked at the company, but like coffeezilla is 100% right. Yeah, but that's some shit I've noticed. Like a lot of white people I've known for a long time, they do that shit when they get a little angry. It's like, let me talk. No, let me talk. Shh. Me talk, you shush. Like they do that a lot. It's kind of funny. And they get mad when you laugh. My favorite one I've told people is like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Shut the fuck up. My ass, bro. You can't tell me shit, bro. Oh my god, their faces get so fucking red, bro. But bro, they pull this shit out. They pull this shit a lot on fucking service people. I've seen it so many times. I think it's so disrespectful sometimes. Unless the service people are being very disrespectful, that's different. But it's fucking hilarious, dude. Because it's like, you don't talk to me like that. You don't talk to me like that. Yeah, I can, motherfucker. Who the fuck are you? I don't know you. Fucking faggot. Shut the fuck up, dude. You're wrong. Calm down. I'm not your mom who tells you to shut up because my mom, you got like, bro, like there's some hatred. I've noticed a lot of, this is a lot of people. This is not just a white thing. This is everybody thing. But there's just like this childhood trauma. If their parents were just terrible, they're like, mom, shut up. You don't get to tell me to be quiet anymore. I'm not a fucking kid anymore. Like, bro, it's like, oh my God, people, they get so mad at that at their agency or some shit. Some people just had very bad childhoods, or like, they're just like, their parents just try to tell them a couple things. And it's like, it was like the fucking Holocaust to them. That like, people except for me try to tell me what to do. That's bullshit. There's a lot of people like this in finance. I've met a lot of people like this in finance. A retardedly high amount, from like people in equities to people in crypto. When it comes to finance, there's a lot. Finance bros have like this huge thing from like, I don't know. It was like the agency lost from their parents, or like they were controlled a lot of portion of their life, and they're like, you don't get to ever tell me anything ever again. Like, fuck, bro. It's so. I'm fucking like I'm zoning right now, bro. Oh my God, bro. It's like I'm going through Vietnam. But it's so interesting when you break it down, Lacey. You're like, oh, I totally understand this now. I totally get it.
Your position, less risky compared to a junior.
But the lower the IQ, the more violent they'll get when you tell them to shut up. When they're higher IQ, or they're like, whatever, it ain't like, they'll do the math and like, this ain't worth fighting. Fuck all this, right? And then the dumber they are, or the drunker they are, then they'll actually get violent. And I've seen the violence. I've seen it. I absolutely have seen it.
Junior position, more risky. This is capital structure 101, not complicated. Okay, so when we take the Bitcoin and we we talk about paying 13% annually on a senior position in our capital structure. We are carving off excess risk and excess return, and that excess risk return goes to our common stock. So our common stock makes our common stock much more volatile, right? So our common stock is like,
so he diverted right here, calmed things down, and basically got the conversation away from the possibility of the stock dropping. So all this right here is to stop all this shit from coffee going on a roll to even give the possibility of anybody listening that his stock can go down, which it absolutely can, like 100% can, like 1,000% can, because the stock is 100% tied to the price of Bitcoin. Myron does the ICU perspective and then shits all over it. Really? Well, it's a perspective. I haven't seen one of Myron's streams in a minute just because I've been busy with crypto stuff. But if you have an explanation of it, I'd love to hear it in the chat. But yeah, I mean, Myron's a smart cookie, man. But this is really good, like control of the conversation.
A compressed view. We call this amplified Bitcoin. So we've got digital credit, we've got amplified Bitcoin. And if you,
this is a side thing. I think your common equity is going to get crushed in long term because they're junior.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's junior. Let me talk. Let me go. Our common equity has a 1.6 beta to Bitcoin. That's interesting. Okay.
I'd love to find out what kind of white Jeff Walden is compared to coffeezilla. I feel like coffeezilla is more like Irish, and like Jeff Walden's like some sort of like Spanish, English mixed with something else. It was like peasant. Shut the fuck up for a minute.
Let me talk. Let me go. Our common equity has a 1.6 beta to Bitcoin. That's interesting. Okay. So Strategy, their common equity has a 1.5 beta Bitcoin. Our common equity has a beta to MSTR. There's interest in the market for amplified.
So he's basically like if Bitcoin moves up, we move up with it plus 60% basically, and Sailors moves in Bitcoin's direction plus 50%. And he's talking about the positives of it, but like if it moves with BTC, that means if BTC goes down, it goes down even more than Bitcoin, and so does Sailor's company.
A very pure expression of amplified Bitcoins, and you could see it by trading volumes. MSTR is trading higher trading volume than IBIT every single day. It's around $2 billion, maybe $2.5 billion average trading volume on the common stock every single day.
Yeah, that's because these people don't understand.
If Jeff Walden really like started shitting on me or something, like I would just pull up the Bitcoin chart and then pull up his equities chart and be like, all right, let's see this. Oh, look, Bitcoin went down. Oh, it giga crashed. What happened here? Weird. But absolutely, it's a good product because if you want something with some volatility, that's why I like Pepe, because if Ethereum moves, Pepe moves more. So this is actually a very good product in terms of if it does move along, if it moves exactly with Bitcoin, but it does more of a dramatic move, that's very good. Absolutely.
Better to just hold
it's
Bitcoin.
Because the market is run by computers and it's hedging. You can hedge an underlying Bitcoin exposure in an amplified version because the options market's super liquid, the spot market's super liquid.
Of the retail investors are not hedging.
Right.
They're buying because they just believe it. Michael Saylor pitched them.
Is the $2 billion of average daily trading volume retail investors? You can't believe that.
No, I don't believe. No, I don't believe it's all. No, of course I don't believe it's all retail.
Right. It's institutions running trading algorithms. It's Jane Street. It's Citadel. It's Clear Street. It's all of the market makers that are hedging positions.
I think there's a lot.
Damn, there's a mogging going down there. But like, Coffee's right. The retail investor would get if they don't sell it at the right time when BTC takes a shit, they're holding the bag. But Jane Street, Andreessen Horowitz, or Citadel, or any of these kind of market maker companies are obviously using this to hedge or to make more money on it or short it, basically. But the hedging is like BTC is going down, so they short his stock, and as it goes down, they make more money because it's more dramatized, and then they could bring that, use that to buy more BTC and stuff. That's how they're using it. And then when BTC moves, they're longing the stock, So the stock goes up more dramatically. They make more profits. They can roll up. They essentially just make more money so they can buy more BTC on spot, basically. So like they're both right, but like but like Coffee's saying like who's going to hold the bag? I mean, and take a bunch of losses. It's going to be retail, of course. So this is a little disingenuous of Jeff right here as well.
I think there's a lot of retail in there as well.
There's
I mean,
a lot of
course.
retail. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But
well, I think it's
what I'm saying is the purity of the expression, right? The common stock is a pure expression of amplified Bitcoin or leveraged Bitcoin.
No, it's not, because you have people senior to the position.
Oh, he fucked up right here. Yeah, it is. It is leverage. That's what people are trading the common stock on. That's this damn Coffee.
So it's not a pure. It's not a pure expression of amplified Bitcoin is leveraged Bitcoin.
Yes, that's what this is. It's a very pure. It's
no,
it's
not. No, it's no. You have you have debt on top of that. You have.
The market disagrees with you.
Damn, he's fucking him right now. Oh fuck, he's right. Yeah, like Jeff's 100% right. Jeff's 100% right here. That's what the market treats his stock in. That's what they treat MicroStrategy's company stock and this guy's stock as like levered BTC, and that's how it's trading. Absolutely correct. It doesn't make sense if like the way CoffeeZilla is thinking about it. It's like this is bullshit. That's not how the market should work, but that's how the market thinks it does. So that's what it does basically, and that's also how retail thinks about it.
Well, I think I think long term this is going to be a disaster for the people who believe that. But I mean, and that's partially why
I'm telling you what I'm hearing from the market. People are hedging using MSTR and leveraged equities. They're hedging underlying spots. They're doing it in the secondary market. They're doing it in the options market. They're going both ways. They're longing it. They're shorting it, and the volumes are really high. The options market in strategy is one of the highest options market in the entire market. Why? Because it's liquid. It's backed by a liquid instrument. It's all liquid.
Okay. I mean, okay. That doesn't change. That doesn't change.
That goofy smile. I got him.
It's all liquid.
Okay. I mean, okay. That doesn't change. That doesn't change the question of.
Damn, he's getting fucking honey dick.
Is this a look? I think you agree. For this to make sense, it has to be long-term sustainable. I told you I'm not worried about you guys collapsing tomorrow. I'm worried about the people who invest in this thinking that this is some kind of amplified bond, amplified savings account, who aren't understanding the risk, the tail risk here. And
I don't think you understand the tail risk.
Okay,
I've calculated it mathematically. Like I have all of the math. I've run this in.
Oh my god! On the current amount of debt on it, the only if they don't get greedy with it, yes, absolutely, he'll be fine. But if they get greedy with it and they just keep taking more money, then it becomes dangerous. What are we talking about here? I've done the math. I've run the things. Well, like crypto can fucking surprise you. It can nuke 90%. I promise you that. I fucking promise you that. I fucking have seen it. I've been through many, many nukes. It can.
10,000 scenarios. Like I've run every single Monte Carlo simulation, 4 different probabilistic models. I've back tested our balance sheet in.
I'm just gonna start saying horse shit, you guys. I'm gonna be like, you guys, I've run through CMC and stuff. I've gone through probabilistic models and stuff. Through every scenario, you guys are all gonna make $100 million. Not financial advice. In every single scenario, you guys, there's not in one chance that you guys will ever lose fuck. Which finance pro has not been known to be greedy? This is the whole thing too. It's like the same thing. Like I see, it's more apparent with Asian people because like you can see it more easily because they're so like careful with it. But when they start getting very bullish or they're so hyped up because their cultures are very repressed. When these repressed people become a little less repressed and are happy or kind of exuberant, it's a danger. It's like we're close. We're close. I've done some research too, and then it definitely can go down 90%. That shit works. Look at XRP. Fuck, man. This is what I'm saying. It's so like there's Coffee could be making some good points right here, but Jeff's also making a lot of really good points as well. But like there is like it depends on what they do. But saying that there's 100% safety no matter what yes, if you only keep it at 10, yeah, you have $1.2 billion of assets. If you only stay at $10 million of debt, oh no, not debt. I mean issued shares of preferred equity debt. Yeah, you're not going to go broke. No fucking shit. But are you going to stay at that level? Are you going to stay at that level? Are you going to stay at that level? That's what I'm saying. If they're only going to increase it to 50 million, which is still not that dangerous, they're using this as a marketing tool for people to just trade their equity more, so they can be the Pepsi to Coca-Cola, which is MicroStrategy, so they can make a fuck ton of money. That's the real game here. So it's like I'm jiggling this thing over here. It's bullshit. I'm not going to go as hard as Sailor. But so my stock can be a counterbalance to Sailor's a little bit, or like at least a little more degenerate because I'm smaller, and we make a fuck ton of money. Which that's all. It's okay with me. I get the market strategy, but like that's what they're doing. If not, if they're pushing it to the nth degree like Sailor is, then they can get in some trouble.
Single Monte Carlo simulation, 4 different probabilistic models. I've back tested our balance sheet in every single possible historical scenario I could possibly run. I'm running the advanced.
Okay. Oh my fucking God. I've run this through a Monte Carlo situation. Oh my God. Oh wait, did I just really hear that right now? Like, and I have run this through all the AI generated chat GBTs, through Citadel, through my Bloomberg terminal, and every possibility known to man. This cannot lose.
Our balance sheet in every single possible historical scenario I could possibly run. I'm running the advanced.
Okay, what's the tail risk? Now that you've run, so you've run all.
What he should have asked him is, okay, so what program were you actually using to model this? That would have been interesting to hear that part. Like, okay, so what was the models you actually did this to run this, and where can I see the perspective on this, or where can I see the research you did on this to make sure that this doesn't go bust?
Probabilistic models. I've back tested our balance sheet in every single possible historical scenario I could possibly run. I'm running the advanced.
Okay, what's the tail risk? Now that you've run, so you've run all the scenarios.
Yeah.
You've run all the scenarios. What is the scenario where people get smoked?
Bitcoin goes down 80% and stays there for a decade, 20 years.
Yeah, that'd be unlikely. Bitcoin going down 80% is aggressive for today's standards. It could happen. Like, honestly, with all the leverage that's happening through Stretch and all these other companies that are borrowing money that are eventually going to lose and have to go under, as well as the halving that happens, because like this next halving is significant because it's like you go from like earning some Bitcoin to like no Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And as it craters down, there's going to be a lot of BTC. Like there's going to be more people that join the ETFs, and these ETFs, like right now, the ETFs are meaningful. They have a decent amount of BTC in them right now, but you have to understand that we can think linearly. Like I have 1 apple today, then I'll have 2 tomorrow, then I'll have 3 in year 3, right? As an example, right? Like week 1 apple, week 2 apples, week 3 apples. Cool. But what the people don't understand with crypto is that it goes up so dramatically, and it's like right now, I go look for an interview with my views. It's like nothing. BTC at $250,000 per Bitcoin, I'm going to have like 1,000 live stream. I'm literally will 10x. BTC would have gone up a 4x, and I will be up a 10 to 15x on live viewers. Exponentially. So I'm a levered Bitcoin ETF. I'm a levered Bitcoin product, technically. My YouTube channel is, I should just fucking sell. I should sell shares and shit. I mean, my YouTube channel is a leveraged Bitcoin product. Because the higher Bitcoin and Ethereum go, the more my viewers go up and shit. And you should bet on my channel. I mean, honestly, it's fucking true, actually. Technically. Right? Like right now, crypto YouTubers are just fucking the lowest of the low in the financial space. But when Bitcoin's $250,000 fucking dollars, I'm the hottest bitch in this motherfucker. Period.
So the only scenario in your mind where people are getting smoked is people.
No. Hold on. Like the scenario where the business model doesn't work is Bitcoin goes down for it goes down 80-90% and stays there for a decade.
At $10 million. Because basically 1.2 million would turn into $100 million. And then they have $10 million of debt. So they'd have to pay that 13% dividend for a while. And they would still have some reserves and cash flow from somewhere, but still like, and they that's what would happen basically.
Hold on one second. The audio, is my audio coming through clear? Your audio is like not
your audio
that.
is very clear. My audio is clear.
Sorry. It is now. I don't know what just happened because you were like, it was stuttering. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to mess you up. I was just having trouble hearing you.
Yeah.
Can you give me like your last line? Cause I was just trying to understand what you're saying. Yeah.
The business model is challenged if Bitcoin goes down 90% and stays there for a decade.
And that, right.
And and there's no volatility the other direction. It doesn't come back, no recovery. It just goes down 90% and stays there for a decade. That would be a very challenging scenario for the business model. The probability of that is incredibly low. And that's what we're calculating, right? We're underwriting the long-term view of Bitcoin. We are underwriting, hold on. We are underwriting a $1.6 trillion asset. Okay. That
you slave Irishman, shut the fuck up. I'm talking right now.
Underwriting, hold on. We are underwriting a $1.6 trillion asset, okay, that banks are adopting. BlackRock has come out with the fastest growing ETF in history, right? First ETF to $100 billion. BlackRock's #1 revenue item. You've got Morgan Stanley coming in the door. Charles Schwab's coming in the door. All of these large institutional banks are coming in the door and offering Bitcoin products. Bitcoin ecosystem is growing. It's not just strategy. Right, we are underwriting the long-term direction of Bitcoin as a productive monetary asset and capital, digital capital. That's what we are underwriting.
Okay, can I tell you what I think?
Which is smart, and it is a good business model, and it will make money over time because the amount of people that are going to come into the industry, especially once the Clarity Act passed, I think the Clarity Act is fucking retarded how it is. It's a bastardized version. It's giving too much credit to the banks. We're supposed to fucking nuke the banks that don't fucking port over. The ones that port over are going to fucking stay around, and the ones that don't adapt are going to die. But that's what's happening. But Jeff's right. Like, he bet on the right horse. This industry is only fucking growing, and they're going to make a lot of money, obviously.
What's weird, you're underwriting the risk of a thing, but you're backing it with the thing. So that doesn't make it. Usually,
it's simple,
you underwrite the risk with an uncorrelated asset. But anyway, that's a separate thing. Hold on, I just want to talk about what I think the tail risk of these products are. I think the tail risk of these products are Bitcoin stays flat. I think the tail risk of this product is Bitcoin goes down and stays down. I think that the tail risk of these products are you guys getting hacked. I think the tail risk is you guys mismanaging. I think the tail risk is you guys issuing senior debt that screws over the preferred equity because y'all aren't actually backing the preferred equity with Bitcoin. Why would we
issue senior debt when?
Let me just finish.
They could definitely. You see how uncomfortable? Well, why will we do? But that's true. That they could do that. He knows they could do that because the preferred stock basically gets fucked. There's nothing. They don't have to pay the dividend. They don't have. If the company were to go under, they're one of the last people to get anything. If the bondholders would get get all the money that's left over from whatever the Bitcoin's worth after debt. And the debt, and what's the debt? The bondholders. So, look, you can see in the body language here. He's like, no, that's happening. Like, coffeezilla hit it right there on the money, 100%.
Issuing senior debt that screws over the preferred equity because y'all aren't actually backing the preferred equity with Bitcoin. Why would we
issue senior debt when?
Let me just finish.
Because you're in trouble when you need the money, or you see some opportunity, and then the market turns, and then you're like, oh shit.
The tail risks. I mean, you can get to that, but I think these are risks. I think, in fact, you disclose them in the SEC disclosure.
The SEC's
so I think
got all of them, right? The thousands of risks they can have.
So you can't disagree with things you say are risks. So that has to be.
Ooh, he got him. He got him. That was coffeezilla W right there. He got him on that. He's like, no, these are risks that you disclose on the SEC dockets and shit that are there. He's like, no, they're there. They're there. You see, he try to I'm like, no. But no, that's exact. Those are real risks. They could fuck over people doing that.
I think, in fact, you disclose them in the SEC disclosure.
The SEC
so I think
got all of them, right?
No. You see, the body language is hilarious, dude.
Just finish the tail risks. I mean, you can get to that, but I think these are risks. I think, in fact, you disclose them in the SEC disclosure.
The SEC
so I think
got all of them, right? It's the thousands of risks they can have.
So you can't disagree with things you say are risks. So that has to be true.
Yeah.
I think one of the risks is you continue to issue and create more and more, not debt obligations, but preferred equity obligations that raises the amount Bitcoin needs to go up every year, right? In order for you to be able to pay them sustainably.
Correct.
And Bitcoin just doesn't go up into the right forever like that. In fact, there's no reason to think it would. So I think all of those are tail risks. And as your balance sheet gets worse, people start paying less, right? No, I don't mean worse in like terms of like catastrophic. I just mean as it weakens, right? Because you have more and more obligations, the amount people are willing to pay for this preferred equity they will demand an increased interest rate, which will hurt your financial position, or the stock itself will go down in value, which will obviously hurt the preferred equity holders, right? Because now what they got 2 years of returns at 13%, but now their preferred equity is worth $78, right? It's wiped out most of their actual return on this instrument. I think you would agree that would be a bad outcome. And you can either fix that by raising in like 5 months, you guys have gone up from 10% to 13%. I mean, that's a huge increase
12. We IPO'd at 12.
Y'all are paying 13%, right?
We IPO'd at 12.
Oh, okay. So you're going from 12 to 13. I'm thinking maybe of Stretch that went from 10 to 11 and a half.
9 to 11 and a half.
Okay. So y'all can go up, but that increases your cost of capital, which is actually bad for the sustainability of this business. I think you would agree. Like it's worse for sustainability to pay more in interest. That's just basic. Like you shouldn't pay more for capital. You should pay as little for capital as you can. Right now, you guys are having very expensive capital.
13%.
You would agree?
Yeah.
13%. That's extremely expensive.
I mean, in your eyes, yeah, sure.
No, it absolutely is. Because like in the market, if you got corporations, if they're high credit rating, they could borrow at 6% right now, maybe even 5%. That's what the going capital. I mean, for like AAA companies and shit, they could borrow billions. I mean, tens of billions of which is currently happening. Like, I mean, literally all the largest corporations in the world are leveraging most of the hilt, from Apple, Google, Oracle, you name the Microsoft, to dump into AI on top of whatever capital they have on the balance sheet. They still have capital on the balance sheet, but like they're borrowing fucking every billion they can. It just gets shittier for companies as they get even a company that's doing kind of bad is still can get debt at fucking at 9%. 13% debt is like you're at junk bond level. 20% you're literally at loan shark money. So like even fucking literally these companies like Caesars is doing terribly. They're borrowing at that level of debt. So like basically it's junk bonds effectively to incentivize money. But because of the explosive nature of BTC, it's worth the risk for them because it's like, fuck, we can borrow at this rate, but like this asset can go up way more than that, and we can make a fortune.
Yeah.
And, I mean, in general, in
like,
the market, it's expensive
compared to everything else. Yeah, I mean, if you had a traditional balance sheet and you were looking at a traditional cash flow that was at threat to AI, then yeah, that would be very expensive cost of capital.
So let's go through that. So I've explained to you the tail risk. Do you say I don't understand the tail risks?
No, I think we disagree.
What am I missing?
I think we disagree on the ordering of probabilities of those risks and their relativity to all other risks in the market. And I think that's the large disagreement of people that are looking at this, right? So it's all like the whole world is probabilities, like the entire world. Driving your car down the street is risky. There's a probability associated with getting in an accident and dying. And like all of those probabilities are ordered somewhere, and that comes into creating like the technical mathematical distribution. But you bring up a few things, and I kind of want to hit on them, right? If the price of our senior perpetual preferred equity goes down, we can also buy it back. We can buy back and effectively retire that liability that sits on our balance sheet. So if the market,
I mean, this is really big if they do it off of like profits and shit when their stock is at $100. But my prediction is if they're gonna do a lot of these buybacks when the share at $100 is at $40 or $60. I really believe that's when this is very important that he's talking here, because this is gonna be one of the last points right here, because they repeated themselves a lot over here and stuff like that. But this is a big point that this is something that's not talked about, is a stretch could also pay down. They can just get rid of share. It's like buying back their debt and burning debt away, right? It's like buy and burn basically, right? But when would they be incentivized to do it is when it's at $100. It's when it's 60 cents on the dollar, 40 cents on the dollar that they would probably do it. They always say that, they always say they'll buy back, but they never do it when it's needed. Yeah. They'll just let you, they'll let you take 40, 60, 70% losses because people don't believe it's going to come back. And that's when they buy a ton of the shares down to make themselves look better. And then they run it again. And then people will put money in because fuck it, they'll run it again. They're like, fuck it, we got another bull run, let's go.
We can buy back and effectively retire that liability that sits on our balance sheet. So if the market misprices it, and let's just say something happens and a lot of people sell the instrument and the price of the instrument goes down, we could buy back that instrument.
They just said literally right there where they would actually do it. They literally just said what I just said right now. He's like, yeah, people sell it the fuck off. It's no longer at $100. Then we buy it at a discount.
Sits on our balance sheet. So if the market misprices it, and let's just say something happens,
misprices it. No, it's correctly priced.
And a lot of people sell the instrument and the price of the instrument goes down, we could buy back that instrument on the market and retire.
Don't you have to buy back for 110 or 105?
I could buy it back in the open market.
But he doesn't say the price because he doesn't want to but he's basically just said that, yeah, this thing could stop trading at $100, which it's supposed to stay at. It can go to $50, $10, $15, $25.
Oh, you mean just literally buy your own?
It's just like a stock buyback. Yeah, strategy could do it too.
Okay.
If any of the instruments,
it is a good strategy if they do it, but some people are going to be pissed because someone, it's going to be retail that's going to get washed on this. That discount's made by retail getting fucked.
Straight down, they could buy them back.
That's why Finance Bro looks good, but they're also fucking pieces of shit as well.
They could buy the instruments on the open market.
Yeah, but
so they can control that.
I'm
just saying it's one data point. There's many different ways you could think about this.
But the problem with thinking about it that way is that will happen at exactly the moment where your financials are more stretched, right? Well, not to use the term, but by definition, you're going to be your preferred equity is going to be trading down when your balance sheet is challenged. That's exactly the last moment you want to be using cash for buying back preferred equity.
I'm just saying it's a tool.
And this is true too. It depends too, because he could be. I do believe they'll be smart about this. They'll probably take some profits on their Bitcoin to shore up a bunch of cash on the balance sheet. That would be the smart thing to do. Take a little bit of Bitcoin profits, even if they just sell 10 or 15%, and they sell 10% of their BTC in 2028, and they sell 10, 15% in 2029, and then it goes down. They have a lot of cash on hand. That means their company will survive. They can buy more BTC. They can buy back a lot of their debt. That's the smart thing to do. But will they do it?
Right. It's a tool in the toolkit.
Sure.
Right? The whole again, we're managing this like an institution would manage an insurance company balance sheet. We've got liability profile into the future, which you've outlined, right? Yeah, it's a 13% cost of capital, and that can vary depending on the market's view of that risk profile. And just like an insurance company is managing a liability profile of slip and falls and dog bites with a balance sheet of capital, we're doing the exact same thing. We have duration liabilities, and we are looking to match our capital structure in line with those duration liabilities. We've got 12 months of cash. We've got six months of STRC, and then we've got a 20 or 18 and a half years of liquidity of Bitcoin that sits behind that. So we are thinking about this capital vehicle as a liability management vehicle. It's just we have one asset. We have one capital asset, and we're managing the volatility using our balance sheet.
Right. But simple. if that asset, but if that capital asset just doesn't appreciate at the level,
we're taking a risk on our balance sheet.
Well, no, you guys aren't taking the risk. The people who buy the preferred equity are taking the risk.
We are taking the risk.
Everyone's taking the risk.
Volatility on our balance sheet. The people that are buying the instrument are taking the risk that our ability to pay that yield.
Yeah, but it's just
coffee. Jeff's right here. Everyone, they're all taking a risk. Basically, it's like I'm taking the risk, borrowing the money, creating the instrument, and I'm hoping that I'm fucking right, and I'm able to bring shareholder value increase and make a bunch of money. And then the guys who are lending me the money through preferred stock are taking the risk, hoping that I can keep the fucking price at $100, which I don't think so. Not in 2030. I'll come back to this in 2030. If we just go into super cycle and BTC keeps going up, man, sell up. That's fucking. I really hope that happens. But it's very unlikely that in 2030 the Bitcoin price hasn't collapsed down 50 fucking percent, 60%.
But it's just a masked kind of. They're taking the same. If you're taking the volatility risk, they are also taking the volatility risk in just in a different way, right?
Yeah, I mean they're taking the tail. Like they're getting paid.
Yeah, or it just
paid,
trades down.
Way.
Yeah.
Think about it this way: they're getting paid 13% to take on the black swan tail risk that you try to, make a big deal.
I think it is. I mean,
they're risks. They're risks. They're definitely risks. I mean, you could go look at all of our SEC documents. You could go look at all the risks. Your job is to order the probability of those risks. Naturally compared to any other.
But anyway, you said a black swan, which invokes like this like rare once in a lifetime thing. It's like, no. It's just if Bitcoin doesn't go up at your cost of capital, you're losing money.
Well, yes. Let's think about that.
Let's reframe that for a second, because in that framing, you're right. But let me reframe it so I'm right.
No. It's just if Bitcoin doesn't go up at your cost of capital, you're losing money.
Well, let's think about that. Our balance sheet, just like Strategy's balance sheet, needs to go up 2.3% annually in order to pay the dividends.
This is only true at current debt loads. I can almost 100% tell you that the amount that they have borrowed is only going to go up exponentially. Now, I think Jeff's not going to go that crazy. But Stretch will, and Stretch is a part of their thing. It is a kind of a crazy gumbo.
Forever. Our number, because we have a little bit more perpetual preferred outstanding relative to the Bitcoin that's held on our balance sheet, our number is about 5.5. The money supply is growing at 6.7% annually.
No. What I'm trying to say, like, I just want to say,
what the fuck are you saying about the money supply? This is such a good. We're talking about Bitcoin price, and obviously I know like the money supply is increasing around the world. Doesn't mean directly because the money supply around the world is increasing. Bitcoin's price is going to increase because the people with the money that have to put it into Bitcoin for it to go up. Now, it is a tall tale sign. If the money supply keeps going up, eventually a lot of that money will flow into BTC. Eventually, that is true. But like, it doesn't mean it's 100% correlated 1-to-1, like exactly every time it happens. It takes a while.
Simplify it because that way of thinking about it gets complicated.
I'm
not. I think it's kind of it makes people misunderstand actually what's going on when you frame it that way, because that number changes a lot according to like what Bitcoin's price is, how much SATA is issued, right? Or how much Stretch is issued. I think it's much simpler to think of your cost of capital for the Bitcoin is 13% every year, right? You're paying someone perpetually.
It could vary over time.
Sure, vary over time. But I think this is just. I think it's just a cleaner way to think about it.
Changes.
If I give you money, right? You buy a Bitcoin and you're paying me 13% every year, right?
Yeah.
If you're losing money on that Bitcoin, if that Bitcoin is not going up over 13%, you're making money, right? On that, just to take a simple example.
Right. I think you're right. Right. Like we are underwriting the future. Like this is a digital gold rush. We are underwriting the next 8 to 10 years, Bitcoin to go up 30 to 35% over the next 8 to 10 years, compound annual growth rate.
It's not going to do that.
Okay. Well, that's just a disagreement. We're underwriting that on our balance sheet.
Why do you think it's going to go up 30 to 35% a year?
Because the world's never seen a fixed supply asset. The supply of the underlying Bitcoin is asymptotically approaching zero. You've got all of the big players that are seeing the institutions coming into the space. You've got ETFs that are growing incredibly rapidly. You've got credit that's being issued against it. the market for these risk return instruments that are different are growing incredibly rapidly. The entire credit market, coffee, is $300 trillion. This is the biggest total addressable market on the planet. And you go look at all of the bad bonds out there. Go look at the.
Why are we comparing to bonds? We should compare to preferred
equity.
Talk.
Ford issued a 2069 bond.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think Ford's going to be around in 2069?
I don't know.
Is Ford gonna? Oh my god! These fucking. Oh my god! These examples are killing me, dude.
Why
are we comparing to bonds? We should compare to preferred equity.
Talk.
No, this is. Let me talk. You see, no. Let me talk. Let me redirect. CoffeeZilla is 100% right. Why are you redirecting? No, let's talk about other preferred stocks like this. Coffee's absolutely right here. Absolutely correct on this. That this is a misdirect. It's like, no, well, if you keep bringing up bonds, but that's not what it is, because bonds, if the company goes belly up, they're the first to get what's left over of the company. Because they're the bondholders are like at the top of the pyramid when it comes to when companies go to shit and they break the company down and sell it off. The profits or whatever's left over has to be given over to the bondholders. And the fact that he picked Ford, I know, right?
That's being issued against it. The market for these risk return instruments that are different are growing incredibly rapidly. The entire credit market, coffee, is $300 trillion. This is the biggest total addressable market on the planet. And you go look at all of the bad bonds out there. Go look at the.
Why are we comparing to bonds? We should compare to preferred equity.
Talk. Ford issued a 2069 bond. We should the bad bonds out there. Go look at the.
Why are we comparing to bonds? We should compare to preferred.
Go look at the.
Why are we comparing to bonds? We should compare to preferred equity.
Talk. Ford issued a.
I keep doing that shit. Stop it! No. Reframe.
Why are we comparing to bonds? We should compare to preferred equity.
Talk. Ford issued a 2069 bond.
Okay.
Do you think Ford's going to be around in 2069?
I don't know.
Right. So like somebody bought that bond for 6%.
Sure.
Right. Like, do you think they're going to get their principal back?
Well, they're higher up in the capital stack than the stockholders, so probably they will.
So that's what I'm saying is like you're underwriting all of these risks. The credit market, I think, is massively ripe for disruption in AI. So you think about
what the fuck is AI got to do with this shit? What the fuck was that? That was such a bad mystery. What the fuck was that, dude? Like he's like now he went from like talking about the bond market, which has nothing to do. It's a great way to explain what the product you're selling is, but CoffeeZilla is 100%. That shit was just to throw him off. This is just to throw him off. Basically, the company goes belly up. You get fucked if you hold this. 100% fucked. You get nothing. You just take losses and hope he can still pay the dividend. That's what it is. They're at the bottom of the capital stack. Common's above this preferred stock here. Common is above the preferred stock here. And that's not usually how it goes, but that's how it is. That's how it is in this, how they set this up. The bonds are at the top of the stack. They're the ones that get the Bitcoin, or they sell the Bitcoin and then turn it into cash.
I'm saying is like you're underwriting all of these risks. The credit market, I think, is massively ripe for disruption in AI.
The fuck does AI have to do with this shit? What the fuck? Why are you going to AI? What, like, oh my God, dude.
So you think about, again,
dude, I was like this the entire time I was driving, bro. I was driving like from the gym and I just started driving around for a fucking hour in Vegas. And then I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I paused, then I unpaused. And then like, coffee, what the fuck is this? Or like, good job, coffee. Oh, that was terrible, coffee. Like, Jeff, good point. What the fuck is this, Jeff? Like, I was just like going back and forth on this entire fucking this 1 hour conversation. It turned into fucking 2 hours because I just couldn't believe the horse shit coming out of both people's mouths. And What fucking misdirects, man? Fucking hilarious.
They're higher up in the capital stack than the stockholders, so probably they will.
So that's what I'm saying is like you're underwriting all of these risks. The credit market, I think, is massively ripe for disruption in AI. So you think about, again, we talked a little bit earlier about how do you underwrite credit risk? You underwrite credit risk by underwriting probability of future cash flows into the future from like 95% of companies, all bonds. Okay. So you're underwriting cash flows. Now we've got AI has come to the forefront.
Okay.
AI completely threatens all cash flows, all of them. And so when you think about underwriting a probability of future cash flows, you underwrite like an umbrella of probability. You're like, okay, I think the window is this. Now, the introduction of AI takes that probability umbrella and it explodes. There are companies that are going to do very well, and there's companies that are going to get absolutely destroyed. And those credit instruments are very illiquid. They have no liquidity. So you've got all of these illiquid credit instruments.
He's making a whole roundabout statement to basically say that it's very liquid. It's very liquid. You could sell because it's stock. It's liquid. We can sell it. It's more liquid. That's all he's saying. But that's not true too either. Because if people start becoming like, oh, this shit's not worth shit, you can't really. You'll take massive losses selling. It's liquid enough for you to take massive losses because it's very liquid. Because people forget it's not a bonded liquidity curve, right? It's not like a V1, V2 fucking liquidity pool that you're providing liquidity. I have Ethereum and a stable coin. It's providing no matter how, as long as Ethereum doesn't go to zero, it's providing liquidity all the way as Ethereum to infinity and to infinity down. Minus zero, basically, right? So it's providing, like, I can sell it and sell as long as there's like a massive amount of money there, right? If there's like $20 million, I can sell $1 million only like with the price 5%. If there's $20 million of liquidity there, total money in the pool, I could sell $1 million, move the price 5% or 2.5% maximum, or sell like $100,000 a day, not even move the price at all, and just fucking get my money out eventually and shit. But this is like the honey dicking that's going on right here. Because what happens is if confidence is lost, where like the underlying asset, his preferred stock loses value, that it's now trading at below $100, meaningfully at like 80 cents on the dollar at $80, then the market starts drying up substantially. So people who are holding a large portion of this and stuff, retail or just large institutions that are fucking betting on this, they sell off their positions. They crash the price to $60 or $50. Now, obviously, the market will come in and speculate that I think it'll come back, but it'll trade sort of like a stable coin. What'll happen, because I know how these things work, because the people who are mostly investing in this are crypto investors. They see this $100 coin as a stable coin. The moment that it's at 80 cents or lower, it's just going to go even lower, because they'll just get flashbacks to fucking Luna. They'll get flashbacks to a cryptocurrency that breaks its peg and goes down. That's how that shit's going to roll down. Eventually, when it's at 15, 13 cents or $15, $13, $20, $30 when it stabilizes, they'll take their balance sheet if they have any, they'll buy it back, and they'll repeg it to $100 at some point and then pay the dividend off or lower the amount of debt they have, and then they just run this shit again or close out and buy all available shares if they have the capital, and then that'll be it. But this is like a honey dicking here that I'm talking about, man, that fucking finance bros do, bro. Fuck, man. Poor coffeezilla.
Explodes. There are companies that are going to do very well, and there's companies that are going to get absolutely destroyed. And those credit instruments are very illiquid. They have no liquidity. So you've got all of these illiquid credit instruments in the entire market. So I'm not even talking about the private credit market. The private credit market, you could go Google anything on private credit. Private credit, incredibly opaque. You have no idea what you're underwriting. They're promising 12% return.
Almost all these financial assets are very opaque because they could say one thing. It's like when people are investing in housing and stuff, they're investing in AAA grade. In finance, look, it's always opaque. I'm sorry. Sure, like unless you're just directly buying like Bitcoin on chain, that is the only opaque thing. I'm buying Bitcoin price. I hold one Bitcoin, one Ethereum on chain. That's not opaque. But if I'm buying a financial asset that's holding that they could lie to you, unless they post unless it's like, no, this is just holding. I'm holding a 1-for-1 ETF, and these are the addresses. You could check that the Ethereum and the Bitcoin are there. That's different. But almost every other financial product, when it's a rolled product within another rolled product, is fucking opaque. They could have all the disclosures they can say and want, but it is opaque. Even the most trusted thing, like Freddie, and like you can go back to 2008. It was all bullshit. They were saying, "Oh, it's all AAA rated fucking bonds," and it was all junk bullshit. B, single B, negative B, fucking triple B, and a couple A's in there and shit. And then it's like it's all AAA. That was opaque. What the fuck are we talking about right now?
The private credit market. The private credit market, you could go Google anything on private credit. Private credit, incredibly opaque. You have no idea what you're underwriting. They're promising 12% returns, and you've got the financial backing of these companies is completely uncertain. Yet you're not getting financial results frequently, compared to underwriting a credit instrument where you can look at our balance sheet every single 15 seconds on a website, and you can have an algorithm that's running the credit calculus and have the transparency and liquidity. That's interesting. Like that, the market is moving more liquid, not less liquid. So you've got literally trillions of dollars. You've got trillions of dollars in the private credit market. You've got hundreds of trillions of dollars.
Are you just asking me to say private credit is bad? Like what do you want? No, I don't know why I think. Why are we bringing up private credit?
No, I'm bringing up.
I'm just talking about y'all's sustainability.
I'm bringing up all credit. You asked me. No, you're not asking about my sustainability. You asked why am I underwriting Bitcoin to a 30% CAGR? I'm underwriting Bitcoin to a 30% CAGR because the credit market is stressed, and it's going to get more stressed from inflation, AI, uncertainty in cash flows, and the private credit market is incredibly stressed, and we're seeing it right now. So another thing that's happening.
So how does that go to like, how does Bitcoin go up 30%?
Let me give you some more, because this is good. I love this. It's a good conversation.
No, I mean, Coffee's asking a legit question. I mean, it's crazy. It's like I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park right now, right? I should be on Jeff's side and shit, but I'm over here agreeing with the blood-sucking lawyer. You know, it's insane right now. But Coffee's actually asking legit questions. Like based off of Bitcoin's historic performance, it does do that. It has like one bad year, and then it recovers, and then it does very well from that bottom. Once the bottom's in, it performs very, very fucking well. So basically, it performs very badly for fucking 8 months or whatever. The top, if you consider the top right there, like in October, it's going down. Once the bottom is really in, whether it's in the next 3 months or 4 months, and then it starts going up. Then from there, it does perform at that point if you're buying BTC at that price. But if you look at it on the chart, then it's like, yeah, since the bottom, it's up this fucking much. But it all depends on where. If you have no Bitcoin and then you get in at the bottom, then yeah, it's like this shit's only been going up like 30-40% per year since I bought it. Correct. But if you have Bitcoin that you haven't sold forever and shit, or if you bought at $100,000, you're still fucking down until probably to the 2027 until it gets at 100,000. Then you're in some profits barely. But it's still, but that's how charting. There's bullshit. That's the bullshit in charting, and that's the bullshit in everything. There's bullshit in everything. Like this is why when me and Charlie try to teach you guys, like I try to be very genuine and saying like I think this is going to do this, but that's what I'm selling in a way. That this is what I believe is going to happen. You can bet on that if you want or not, but this is what I'm doing. Like I very typically just talk about coins that I'm thinking about or that's interesting to me, and I'm really honest with you guys. I'll tell you guys like I just bought this coin. Like I tell you right now, like I got like 10 Tau and like some Zcash right now. I haven't really purchased a lot yet because I think its prices are going to go down lower. And I'm going to average in, but like I think like Zcash won't go back down below $200 because it's been bought up so heavy now. It would only hit those prices if we went below 59K now. But I try to sit like I don't try to bullshit you too much. I try to like tell you what I truly believe, and that's what I'm betting on, and that's where I put my money where my mouth is, and that's what I'm betting on. And if things go well, I believe we can make a lot of money because I've made a decent amount of money over the years doing these bets and stuff, but that looked degenerate at the time, but really start making a lot of money. But what happens is a lot of people come into the market later in the market when it's hotter because people only it's like women. They only want to fuck the winners. And when big crypto's winning, that's not the best time you should have invested. You should have invested right now in 2026, in 27, 28, 29. And even in 28, you still have time because you have a whole fucking year left. But if you're coming in 2029, you have to be fast ass. You're playing hot potato. We're like jumping in, getting a couple X's, betsing out, or you're cool with like putting money, making 50%, being in cash. You're playing more of a trader or fast ass with fucking big moves and getting the fuck out. There's no like holding shit for a fucking year. unless it's like literally at the beginning of 29. But I tell you this. But I fucking tell you this. They won't tell you this because they're trying to honey dick you into some fucking horseshit token. I haven't taken money from any fucking project. Period. I don't even have a fucking token. All the years I've been in crypto, I could have launched so many. I've had so many people come to me, let's launch a token, and I just told them to kick rocks. Yeah, and a lot of them only have like $1,000 in capital and stuff like that. And there's some people that have some big money too, but like, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna play the interview just a little bit more, but I'm getting like this is why I couldn't stop listening to it, and I was like, it took me like it's just like I start getting irritated with both sides because like they're both trying to get I got you moments, and like for sure like Jeff definitely got like he honey dick. I mean not honey dick. I should say he like jujitsu'd him basically. And took him on side tangents and off roads and stuff, and caught him with like his own like a girl kind of in a way where like you remember how you tell me your girlfriend fucking did some shit to like her boyfriend and stuff, but that wasn't cheating. Well, I just did the same shit to you, and you're saying I'm cheating on you. What? So you're saying your girlfriend was cheating on you? No, no. Got you. Okay, cool. Like yeah, I didn't cheat on you. You know that's what it was basically, right? And but they're both saying a lot of truths. Like all he has to say, look. And he's trying to say that, but then I could see Jeff actually trying to say that, but then like Coffee doesn't let it go because he wants to get the gotcha moment too. That's the problem too with Coffee, is that like Jeff says like, look, you want to earn 13% dividend and stuff like that, and like you can earn it for a couple of years and stuff but it's like you have to sell it, right? So you can't say that, but like it's like, but like the stock's easier to sell. Like Bitcoin goes, I'm betting like you're lending us money, so Bitcoin goes up, you can park some of your capital in the dividend here, and then use that dividend to buy the shares, and then the shares will appreciate over time because Bitcoin's going to go up in value. So you're betting on me because you think Bitcoin's going to go to a bull run, and I think that Bitcoin's going to a bull run. So lend me money. That's what you're betting on. If you don't like that perspective, then you don't have to invest with me. That's it. That's fucking it. That's it. But like I would say that if I was doing that, I would tell you guys that. But I also, you have to understand, you also have to dress it up too. Like you just have to do it, and you have to do the talk. But like that's the real shit. Buy my stock if you think crypto's going to go up. If you don't, then you don't have to. But some people do think, and to the victors go the spoils.
Let's think about strategy. Strategy got a B- issuer credit rating, and I'm sure you'd probably take that and you'd go B- credit rating and see, told you, smack you in the face. But here's the deal: S&P gave Strategy a B- credit rating. Guess how much credit they gave for the Bitcoin that they held on the balance sheet? Take a guess.
I don't know. Probably zero.
You're right. Zero.
I only know that because I've heard you on this podcast before.
You did your research.
I've heard this before. Wait, but how does this mean Bitcoin goes up 30%? That's what I don't understand.
Because we can agree that the Bitcoin held on the balance sheet should be valued at more than zero. We can agree. Like when you're thinking about so this is because the Basel III banking standards set up standards after the Great Financial Crisis, such that banks didn't take on too much leverage. So right now, the Basel III banking standards, they give zero credit for Bitcoin held on the balance sheet. So a bank has zero.
So for now, this will change over time. Some banks are issuing but they're putting in the risk category and stuff. But because like the rates you used to be able to borrow Bitcoin really cheap. You could give your you could OTC your BTC to like a bank. They would give you a loan. The interest rates used to be lower, but now the interest rates are like way higher or something like that because like there's so many people trying to get loans on actual physical Bitcoin and Ethereum. JP Morgan will do these loans, but the interest rate is not cheap, is what he's talking. Eventually, they will be like the interest rates will be treated like you're trying to lend a bank gold bars, and then then they're lending you the money at the lowest rate possible at the current market.
Incentive to go put Bitcoin on the balance sheet because they have zero ability to leverage against it. Their cost of capital goes up just by putting it on their balance sheet. So they're not even doing that. We think that rule will change at some time in the future. Insurance companies, same thing. Insurance companies cannot put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. That's fascinating. Like they literally can't do it. They get zero capital credit for it. insurance companies are required to report to regulators and rating agencies, and they get.
So you think that changed rule will increase adoption to that? No, I thought that's where you're going with it.
The change rule. No, I just wanted to finish what I'm talking about. The change rule could potentially lead to more adoption. The transformer, like what we're doing, we're taking this underlying capital asset and we're transforming it into two different components. Boom, that new wrapper. Now an insurance company can hold that perpetual preferred equity. They can get 45% credit for the perpetual preferred equity that's held on the balance sheet. That's interesting. There's demand there.
And this is true. This is demand, and like we're having to do these kind of weird things because they won't give us all the services we're supposed to be getting because we're such a new financial asset to them. So Jeff's doing a smart thing here. He's providing services and stuff, and he's charging a mint for it. But people want these services, and he deserves to get the cap. If people are willing to do it, because some people want this.
There's different risk return metrics. Like, yeah, you can agree. Like, you may think that our instrument is very risky. That's fine. That's fine to think it's very risky. But what you can't ignore is that the risk return is different than other assets.
Yes. Jeff's 100% right here is that, like, what coffeezilla doesn't understand right now is that, yeah, right now it's so easy to shit on crypto, but the market turns and crypto starts going up. This, like, the reason they're willing to lend this much money out and they're willing to pay this interest is because crypto does obscene returns. Bitcoin in like a year, I bet you I can even, let's see, in a year from now, we'll be above $100,000. Almost the same date. Let's see, what's today? May 18th, 2027. So it's 2026 right now. So in 2027, BTC's very easily is going to be over $100,000. How much more? We'll have to see depending on how hot the market is. But it'd be fucking crazy by fucking May 18th of 2027 that we're not at least $100,000 on the Bitcoin price. Right now, we're not even that far off. We're like, let's look. We're at $76,000 Bitcoin price right now. So let me get you the exact rate. $76,832.18 on BTC right now. Someone remind me a year from now. That'd be interesting. Watch for like at 99. No, I told you, Miguel. Or at 40. You're like, fuck, no. But it's very likely in a year from now because the low in the market is going to be in the next 3 months. The low in BTC is going to be in the next 3 months. And we're back up. Whether we're retest 59 or we just touch in the 60s and we just keep climbing from here, or like we're going to be down, like we got another 2 weeks of down, and then we're back up, and let's go to the summer, and then there's a fucking crash, and then we hit 59. I'm leaning more towards 59 being the low right now, with a clause there of like maybe 52, because I mean my original low for the cycle has been like $1 trillion market cap with maybe like a wick down. Good luck to kind of catch it, maybe crack, and you catch it on a limit order at like 49K, 48K for like a second, and then back up to $54,000, and then we'll start going back up. So if you can catch BTC in the 50s or 60s, you're fucking winning, basically. But in a year, we're back up. So like, this is why people are willing to take this risk, lend this money now, and investing in some of these stocks. Obviously, some people are playing the stock game right now because they're waiting for BTC to lower down, and some people are going to go like all in on MicroStrategy, all in on this, on the stock, because that's how you actually make money. Bro, like, why the fuck would you? I mean, I know why some people do because they want the income or whatever, but it's fucking. I mean, for the most part, unless you're just trying to make the money for the next 2 years or 3 years, this shit's retarded. 13%. Why in the fuck just buy Bitcoin or Ethereum? The fuck are you doing, dude? Any of you motherfuckers, unless you already have bread. If you got $1 million fucking dollars, yeah, you can earn $130,000 a year. You earn about like $11,000 a month on $1 million. Okay, that's good, right? That's some good income just to grow some shit, some income there, right? But hey,
I studied finance in college, right? I'm a finance nerd. I've been working in the capital markets for a decade. There's this concept of Markowitz modern portfolio theory, won the Nobel Prize.
Oh my God.
Okay. The concept is the concept of diversification. If you add a new
I know what portfolio theory is. Why? Well, how does this relate to 30%?
This relates to 30% because these new instruments are getting created with different risk return metrics, and people are adding them to their portfolios. That's it.
I get it. Yeah. If you can add this to a small portion of your portfolio, you can get higher risk. I mean, but I get coffee on this because this is
if you add a new.
I know what portfolio theory is. Why? Well, how does this relate to 30%?
This relates to 30% because these new instruments are getting created with different risk return metrics, and people are adding them to their portfolios. That's it.
So that will make Bitcoin go up 30%?
Yes, because the demand is absolutely freaking enormous.
But the play here is just either you buy their stock because you're trying to get a higher return than Bitcoin because it moves with Bitcoin up, and then if it moves higher than Bitcoin, that's why you buy the stock. Or you just buy the fucking Bitcoin and like the simpler thing is just to buy the Bitcoin and then maybe have like a 10% option. And like it's like, okay, I'm gonna buy one Bitcoin and I'll buy $10,000 of the stock once I think the bottom's in, and then if it really does really well against there, then I'll sell it and buy more Bitcoin. That's how you play this shit. But like people get too cute with this shit, man. I'm telling you, people get way too cute, bro.
And the banks are there. Look, it's a $1.6 trillion asset. Okay, strategy.
Yeah, that's why I don't. That's exactly why I don't.
I almost want to like redo this again and have Charlie on here too, just to hear this. I mean, fuck, it's so funny, man. But like, and I agree with both points and shit. And obviously, like this industry is going to grow. Like, you think like in this next bull run, like you think we're not going to hit $6 trillion, $8 trillion in the next 3 years? Like, no shit.
Because it's already such a big asset. So I kind of think of these things as like adoption curves, right? You're familiar with all There's like an S-shaped adoption curve. There's like early adopters. Then it kind of.
He's like, fuck. Okay, he knows about the adoption curve. Fuck.
And it hits mainstream, and then there's
and he's like, fuck, he knows about the adoption curve. He's like, well, he knows about, you can see he was like, fuck, he knows about the adoption curve. Fuck. Because it's like, because basically the adoption curve is once we're at the top, once we're at the top of the S, and like basically all like, let me do this. Let me get a good one, but yeah, that'll do. Welcome to the party. On the S curve here, right? Like basically massive growth, because if you bought here, it's like, wow, you're making a shit ton of money. But eventually, like, it's like, imagine it's like only the most base people who are like early tech nerds, this, that, like we're starting to get bankers and some people here. And then once every 40-year-old fucking douchebag fucking is already in this, and then like your 50-year-old grandma and grandpa are getting in, it's like, oh, it's not cool. And it starts slowing down the growth. Now, obviously this shows like the growth here, but basically like massive growth happens here. And then eventually the growth slows down. Doesn't mean that it will decline like this, but it just means that like now the amount Bitcoin's growing will start growing closer to like what like actually the increase of the money supply like he's talked about earlier, but like it'll just start growing just much more like normally. Maybe maybe what'll end up happening, it just grows like the S&P 500 plus an extra 3, 4, 5%, maybe 5% or something more than the S&P 500 because it's hard money or whatever. We haven't hit that point yet, but like we're probably somewhere, honestly, we're probably somewhere here on the S curve. We're starting to scale, basically. And there's a mature side, and then everyone else is in already and that knows about it, basically. But that's my PowerPoint. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. It's been a cool fucking almost 4-hour live stream. My blood pressure was starting to get climbed and shit. I was agreeing more with like coffeezilla, but also like Jeff's makes incredible. Like I'm with Jeff in the industry. The industry is growing incredibly fast, but like there's just so much with finance that they just try to say things in certain ways to like make you forget this part right here. And let's move along. And like the thing can only go up. But all this and more, I'm going to be doing a Citadel AMA unrecorded in the Citadel, man. If you join right now, we'll be able to get you in there. It's going to be Wednesday after Charlie's stream. You can ask me anything you want. Moon math, peptides, anything. Finance, Life questions. Who else but me is going to tell you the truth, man? Not many. Not many. Get a little BTC, get some Ethereum. You should at least have one Zcash. Fuck it. I mean, why not? We're here to risk it for the biscuit. But don't blow the whole load just yet. We're going to get some good prices. So with that, thank you so much, man, for joining me. And get in the Citadel. What are you waiting for?
You buy this for $39.99. Guess what, folks? You take the L away. You put a W there, baby. You're a winner, man. You're the real deal. You're picking up chicks. Let me tell you something. You buy this set at $39.99, baby. You're the cock of the walk, man. You walk into the bar and you just find the hottest chick and you go, you, me. Guess what? She says, why would I go out with you? Because I bought the deal on Wild West Deals for $39.99. That's why. She says, can I go home with you? That's how simple it is. That's how it works. That's what this set brings to the table. Because you know what she sees? She sees a man who knows what he wants. She sees a man who says, good deals don't get by me, baby. I move. I act quick. I act now. I go to wildwestdeals.com. Boom. That's why you're hanging with chicks all night long. That's why you got guys like Michael Jordan calling you, wanting to hang out with you, baby. Because you bought it for $39.99.